helps. I normally like to use music in stretching. And the reason is because of two main reasons. One, music uplifts the energy and the mood. Sinukweli. And then two, music has actually been shown to actually help increase the brain activity. And so I'm going to ask my friend to play the same song we did yesterday. And you guys will just follow my movements. The ones who are here yesterday, you can confirm I don't do anything complex, anything to embarrass you. The whole idea is just to stretch and uplift the mood even as we start. So when you're ready, let's do this. So this is what I want you to do. Just warm up on the spot. Just step. And then feel the music kidogo. Awesome. Now let's stretch like this. Up. Both hands. Hey.
Yes.
Awesome. That's good. Good job. Awesome. Now let's go something called Johnny Bravo like this. And change. One more time. Now let's stretch like this. Go down. And up. One more time. And up. Now simple. Just step like this. Step, 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 step. Good job. Good job. Let's go. Now on the spot again. On the spot again. Now I'm going to show you a new school move. Put your hand like this. And then all you do is this. Now step one is you just do with your hand. Then I'll show you step two. Then step two, now bounce with this. Good job. In case you're bouncing off it, it's fine. The goal is to the other hand. Awesome. Now like this, up. Now remember, since we are stretching as we are doing this, reach as high as you can. Let's go. Then down. Then up. And down. Then this, march. Good job. Now, let me show you one useful move and then we can. Sasa. This one is very simple. So first one will start like this. Then you go down like this. Up. Just that. Good job. One more time, let's go. Good job. Thank you. Clap for the person next to you. Tell them good job, well done. You may have your seat. Like I said, so let me first of all start by introducing myself. My name is Samuel Murega. On socials, it's Samuregs, S-A-M-U-R-E-G-Z. And I will be your host for today. I'll be the one running the program, but you'll also see a very beautiful lady who will be moderating the sessions today with me. And so, yes, so far, I have two questions before we start the day. I'd like one microphone to be ready. I'd like two people to tell me, first of all, before that, how many guys were here yesterday? Can I see by a show of hands? Good job. How many guys, this is their first day? Awesome. So for the guys who are here yesterday and also for Fixing the Nation, I'd like to hear two comments based on what you have learned so far. Sawa sawa? So two comments based on what you have learned so far. You can lift your hand and then we'll have a microphone coming to you. We have one hand over here.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, my name is Moses Kinyanjui. I have had the pleasure of having attended this event, this being the second day. So for me, one takeaway point home, even if I'll forget everything else, is that we cannot underestimate the importance of saving for retirement, because it's very critical. It's inevitable that we will all get there one day when we will need what we have had saved for that period when it comes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and that's a very good lesson. Let's give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. We have one more hand over there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Ebenezer. So one thing I learned, it's never too early to save for retirement. Even if you're 23, you're 22, you're 18, you're 30, start your retirement now. Like he has said, we are going to get old one day. And again, you might not also retire at the 60 threshold that the government has put for us. You can wake up and decide, bana million nataka retire at 40. So what did you save to retire at 40? So that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Young people in the house, I hope, Ms. Kia, we have one more hand at the back. Yes, so for the young people in the house, you have had. You will never be so young to save.
Good morning, I'm Anne. What I learned is that after retirement, don't put your money where it will be consumed. For example, building a big house that will not even be able to finish.
Watu wa biashara, mumesikia hiyo? That was actually one of the things that was being addressed.
I want to continue with this Randy's running and say that unaambia watu they retire at 60 people, they don't retire at 60. You retire when you die. So you are going to enhance your products so that you tell them. So he said it is not too early to start saving, and it is not too late to continue saving.
So we have addressed both ends of the spectrum. It's never too early, and it's not too late. We'll have one final one, and then after that we can head into the masterclass. Karibu.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Swale from Mombasa. There are some 5 things that I learned yesterday that is a must for retirement. And 1 is to buy an annuity. 2, to buy a medical cover. 3, register to a social program to interact with other retirees. And then 4, do something to keep your mind alert. And finally 5, keep in touch with your family. They are actually a very important investment in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause to anyone who has spoken today. Now there's something that, it's Swale, right? There's something that Swale has done that I'd like to encourage all of us to do. He took out his phone and he was looking at the notes that he wrote yesterday. And so I'd like to encourage all of us to write those points somewhere. I know some of us trust our memories really well, but always having a reference point can really help, even when days have gone and you need a reminder. And so at this point in time, we are about to do a masterclass, and I'll be inviting the moderator, Wangeshi Morioki, who will take us through the next session. Let's give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Asante sana. Karibu sana. I think we can do a better round of applause than that. Ladies and gentlemen, karibu.
Thank you so much, Sam. Good morning. Good morning once again. Aki hapa kuna baridi hapa mbele. It's very cold. If you're behind there and you can actually move 1 seat ahead, please let's do so. Kujeni, karibieni tu. Please, let's just move 1 step ahead, 1 row ahead. Tusonge tu. So that at least we can also create time for those people, create space, for those who will be coming in. My name is Wangeshi Morioki. I'm a producer and news anchor with Nation Media Group, and I'm happy to be your moderator today. Sam asked the question about what you learned yesterday. How many of us were in yesterday? Let me see by a show of hands. How many? Let's clap for them. Na bado kuna watu waki hawajakuja mbele. Kujeni tu, karibieni tu, karibieni tu. So that also you keep your neighbor warm. Naona kuna baridi leo. I know we're going to be starting our master class, and I think we'll start by asking ourselves what we want to achieve today. Some, if you have a mic, if you have a mic, are you able to just take few statements from people on what they expect from today's master class? Leo ni kusoma. So you're the student, me and you, we are students, and then I'll be inviting our teacher for today.
Expectations?
So your expectation for today. Just take the mic round. Sam. Tuanze hapo. Next to you.
Next to me.
Yes.
Remember, what are your expectations for today?
Well, I expect to learn more about pensions, being my first day here. Well, this morning I've enjoyed what they were discussing. So I expect more good things from the speakers and more learning to go and apply outside there.
Yeah, Sam, they can also share their names so that also pia tuwajue.
What's your name?
Karuri Francis.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Anyone else? Yes, I
Yeah,
can
from
see a
that
hand
side.
on that side. Lift your hand so that I can see. Who had lifted? Thank you.
Your name and what you expect today from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
My name is Jane Onimbo. In Fixing the Nation today, I learned that we are not supposed to use your pension money to do business and to build. So my expectation today is to learn how to do these things before then. Thank you.
Anyone else before I invite?
One more hand here.
One more?
Two.
Two more. And I know our teacher is taking notes. Yes, what do you expect?
Yeah, morning everyone. I'm Stephen. I'm a trustee, certified one at that. And what I expect to learn is about the retirement plan so that I can share much of that with the members. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have one more hand here.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Gitau Machibu. I'm already a retired banker. What I would like to know is whether those decisions I've made are the right ones or I need to alter them going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's one last one. I'll just take the last expectation and then I will invite our teacher. Today, tumesema sisi ni wanafunzi. Yes, your name and your expectation today. Just wait till you get a mic.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was saying my name is Kaburu Mbogori, who has already enjoyed retirement for 7 years. But you'll be wondering whether the facilitator will be able to guide the people how to correct the mistakes they may have made if they reached 60 without following what you are instructing others now to follow.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our facilitator for this masterclass. So we're going to be looking at retirement planning. When should I start planning? How should I plan? I mean, mine is to connect the dots for you. Yours is to take your notes and your pen. We start taking notes on what to expect from today. So our facilitator is from Association of Kenya Insurers, that is AKI. Let's put our hands together, people, for one Pauline Gaduri. Let's put our hands together for Pauline Gaduri. Pauline Gaduri is the Senior Manager, Life Insurance Business at AKI. Karibu sana. Asante. Mpigieni makofi. Thank you very much. Karibu
Thank
sana.
you.
And many people would be asking, kwa nini if I have passive income, niko na side hustle, why should I even start pension? Why?
Thank you.
Thank you
We
very
will
much.
address it. Thank you very much. Now, I'm really happy. Today I've gotten a new title. So today I've been called Teacher Pauline. So thank you for the new title, and I appreciate and take it very positively. Okay, so good morning once again.
Good morning.
Okay. Yes, so my name is Pauline Gadhuri. I work at the Association of Kenya Insurers, and I'm very, very privileged to be here. Thank you very much. I'm very privileged to be here to share the knowledge about retirement planning. And before we start, I think I would want to really I would actually want us to clap for the Nation Media Group. Yes, because what the Nation Media Group is doing is actually a national, what do we call it? Is it a national good? To educate Kenyans about planning for the future. And not only Kenyans, now it's the East African region. So Nation, thank you very much, and may God bless this and may it continue to grow so that we have all Kenyans, all people in East Africa, everywhere, learning how to plan for their future. Yes, I would also want to really appreciate the discussions that have taken place between yesterday and now. And one of the things that I saw coming from the floor, Kenyans are hungry for information. Did you hear that from so many people who are sharing? People want this information, and it is our duty to tell them. And what you learned today, I want you to challenge yourself. How many people in your life are you going to, what you've learned yesterday and today, how many people in your life are you going to share with? Because someone once challenged us in a forum where they told us, if the people around your life, those could be your siblings, your parents, if you're young, your, friends, circle of friends, your chama friends, if they are not planning for their retirements, remember you will be their retirement plan. Because if they get sick, will you let them die? So you'll be using whatever you've saved for yourself to manage them. So it's a gospel that we need to preach to everyone. So I think I'll just start. And before I start, I want to tell you very briefly about AKI. So AKI is the Association of Kenya Insurers. AKI is the Association of Kenya Insurers. It was established in 1987, and it's an umbrella body of all the insurance companies. Currently, we have 55 companies as our members, and also 4 associates members. These are the reinsurance companies. And part of our role, you can see part of our role, and I want to go to number 3. And number 4 and number 6, the 3 last bullets, raising awareness about insurance. We do a lot of that. If you look at the AKI budget, it's very heavy on public education. We hold forums, we've prepared so many materials. Our website is a wealth of information about retirement benefits. And as we've heard today, it's our personal responsibility. So I'll kindly challenge you to visit our website, look at the materials that are there, educate yourself, and reach out to us where it's not clear. And at this point, maybe I could ask my colleague who deals with all the public relations at AKI to just stand up and wave. After this, you can catch up with her and ask her for if you have a challenge, if you'd want anything from Aki. And there's a book, thank you, Hazel. There's a book Aki developed, which is given free of charge to the public, but now we distribute it in soft form, and it's on the website, a guidebook on the retirement benefit sector in Kenya, because Aki is neutral. We don't sell the product, so we just want to create awareness. So this is actually one of the first books in Kenya about retirement planning. Visit our website, get it, and many other, a lot of other information, and one of our sub-websites, Understand Insurance. Thank you very much. So we also do a lot of market research, which are also in our website, and we also do a lot of industry capacity building. And why is it that Aki is involved in all this on retirement benefits? Because, you know, Aki is a member, the members are insurance companies. The connection is that insurance companies are actually major players in the retirement benefits industry, actually controlling the largest number, the largest share of retirement benefits schemes. And they are the sole providers of the annuity business that we heard about yesterday, and also a very major player in the income drawdown space. So now, I want us to, this is the outline of what we are going to learn, which is why plan for retirement, understanding retirement plans. Then we are going to look at some myths on retirement planning, and then we'll discuss them. Thank you. And one of the myths is that one that you brought out, Wangeshi, and then the call to action, which will be a personal call to action. And I just want to remember that as Aki, we don't have a product we are selling to you. But what we do is we give you a lot of information. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see all the players. If you go to the RB website, that's another website you need to visit, you'll see a lot about the industry, even the performance of various schemes. So your personal call today is to visit and those websites, educate yourself, reach out for more information. Now, to start us off, I wanted to just ask to discuss the journey of life. So this is a journey of life that every one of us has to go through. And no one is exempted. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. You know, it's a journey of life that we all have to go to. And we all pray, by God's grace, that he'll grant us what? Long life. So if you get the gift of long life, you have to go through these stages in life. And it was very interesting, you know, like even today, yesterday, when you're young, imagine you don't get some things. And it's very natural, because naturally as human beings, we think old age will only happen to other people. Me, I'll be strong even when I'm 100 years old. See, that is what sometimes we tell ourselves. But when you get there, you're actually shocked and you say, hiya, kumbe what the old people were saying in my life is true. And then one of the things you find is when you're born, imagine, I always like tell young people, this is the best phase of your life. Your parents are hustling for you. The ones will know where your food will come from, shelter, clothes, school. And all the parents want to do, because they are now more advanced in life and they understand why you need to be financially secure, is they want to give you the best shot in life. And that is why parents sacrifice. I don't think there is many parents who sacrifice all that so that you'll help them, although there are some. The main idea of the parent is they want to give you a good start in life so that you are able to stand on your own feet well. Now, by the time you finish campus, you're still, luckily, still under your parents' care. Then after maybe age 23, 24 to 25, 26, you now either look for a job, you get a job, or you start hustling. And that is when I was smiling when they were giving the example of Miriam, who is 24, and doing these gigs, earning some money, and one of the top needs that came up was that one of sherehe, sindio. So what happens is between that age, maybe between age, depending on what age people start getting married and getting children, maybe from 26, 28, but from age 30 to age 50, 55, let me tell you, that age just flies. Why? Because that's when most people get married, they get children, you need to think of housing, where are my children going to stay, then school fees comes, and then so many other needs, and those years just pass, before you know what is happening. You just find yourself one day you wake up, your children have left school, campus, they have finished campus, and I would want somebody to share with us whether they've experienced that. You've taken them through, that would be another 20 years, I believe, before your child starts, anaenda mpaka anamaliza campus. So if you started at 30, you're now 55. Sindio? In those, how many years? 25 years, you don't even think about yourself. You're just thinking about these children and how you're going to help them. By the time now to think about yourself, what? You're 55. HR has started talking to you and taking you to some courses. And you start panicking because now you have 5 years to go, and those years just passed like this. But if somebody talked to you when you're 30, 25, you'd never get it. And because this period, which we call actually the time of your life when you're most productive, passed so fast and you have so many obligations. And for most people, you have obligations of your parents because they were not able to plan. You have your children's obligations. And by the time you finish with them, you have not planned for your retirement. And so you have 5 years of panic to decide, what do I do? And then miaka bado inasonga. Before you know what is happening, now you are in this stage. And then you're in this stage. So I just wanted to take you through that to tell, especially the young people, let me tell you, the younger you start, before you even start your obligations, the easier it is for you. Because then when you get to your obligation stage, if you want to move to a bigger house, your plan will help you make a better decision and say, instead of me moving into a 50,000 house, let me stay into this one of 35 or 40, and because I'm saving there, 5,000 or the 10,000 towards my retirement. But if you don't have that plan, you will not make that decision. When you're taking your child to school, then even that will come to play because you say, hey, I'm already saving towards, I have this saving individual pension plan, or that I'm putting in 10,000 or whatever amount I'm putting in per month. If I take my child to this school, I may not be able to continue with my plan. So it will make you maybe choose another school which is not as expensive. So you can see how your plan guides your decisions. So now, very quickly, I want us to do a very small exercise with your neighbor. This is about retirement. I want you to share with your neighbor, what is your ideal retirement age? And then imagine, dream big. How will that life look for you? When you, how will it look when you don't have to wake up early in the morning to go to the office, you're retired, maybe you're on holidays every quarter, I don't know. What resources will support that lifestyle you're dreaming about? Please tell your neighbor. I guess you have a neighbor there. So what age? Paint a very nice, rosy picture of your retirement. What will you be doing? And how will you support yourself in retirement? How will you support yourself in that retirement? 2 more minutes? No, 1 more minute. Have you painted your retirement? I'm sure it's very nice. Maybe we can just have 1 or 2 people share with us about your retirement. You have a mic. Thank you.
So
anyone, 2 people.
Anyone who's willing to share? I could start with my neighbor.
Yes.
So you tell us your name and your plan.
Okay, once again, good morning.
Good morning.
So, currently I'm 43 by age. So my hope is that I hope to retire by latest 60. And I already have a pension plan as we speak. And I hope what I'm aiming for is that I'll be able to live comfortably like the way I'm doing now when that time comes.
Aha. Wow.
Thank you very much. Anyone
Thank you.
else? Nani mwingine? Okay. I'm balancing gender.
You've gotten me off guard. Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Laura. So she asked 3 questions. Oh, the camera is behind me. Okay. 3 questions. What age do I feel like I would like to retire? I think I've thought about it, and I think I might be working till 60. So I'm planning with 60. The lifestyle, I'm hoping to be in a ranch somewhere. Yeah, hearing chickens every morning, that would be very ideal for me. And the resources, I'm already contributing into a pension plan. So there's projections on that. So I'm already seeing what I can have at that point, but also trying to invest in other things so that I'll be able to support myself over and beyond that. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Laura.
Let's clap for them. Thank you very much. Yeah, so those are very important questions to ask yourself. When am I likely to retire? Where will I live? Did you hear the questions Laura asked? Where will you live? You picture yourself where you'll be at that retirement age. Please ask yourself that question. It's a very important question. Where will I be living? So that if it's not where you are now, please you start making plans. So how will my life be? How will I be meeting my expenses? You were told our expenses don't retire. So you ask yourself those questions, and then you ask yourself, what resources will support my lifestyle? Then imagine, basically, that is what retirement planning is to ask yourself those questions, and then now start putting a plan in place of putting your funds aside to realize that future. Okay. Now let's okay, now just some facts which we've had yesterday and today. The life expectancy in Kenya is around 66 currently. We would say 67, 64.4 for male, 68.9 for female. But I wanted to tell you, this is the life expectancy of the whole population. But for the people who hit age 60, because life expectancy is measured at different age. This one of 64 is from birth. So you know even a child who passed away at 2 years, 1 month affects this one. But those people who hit 60, which is most likely for us now because we are grown up, if our life expectancy in this room is done, it will be 18, on average, 18 years for males and 20 years for females. So that's about 80 years. But we have very many people, and I think this is a study they are doing, who are actually hitting age 90 in Kenya. So if we said our retirement age is 60, remember we have how many more years? Between 20 and 30 years when your body will not be able to work. But your body will need to eat and be taken to hospital and visit friends and entertain friends and do all those other things. Sindio? So it's very good to always ask yourself, so how will I support myself at that age? And I wanted you to also do a very small exercise again, Wangeshi. In your local language, the Gen Zs may not know this, but every tribe in Africa has a proverb that talks about how the old age depends on the young. If I may translate my own mother tongue directly, is that old age eats what you built in young age. So tell your neighbor what yours is from your tribe. Very quickly.
Do you have
what
one?
does yours say? Do you have it? Yes, tell us.
Stan, give us your name and tell us.
Stephen, once again, I'm trying to translate it in English. It's saying starting early is better than going to the witchcraft. Something of that sort. But Yeah,
Wow,
that's loosely
wow.
translated, loosely.
I love
Anyone
that.
else who has a proverb? Yes, yes, yes.
Somebody
Sure.
there.
Let me come to that side.
Yetu ni ya Kimeru. Yetu ni ya Kimeru. Ukuru, that is old age. Ukuru, Burejaira, that means fins. Old age fins on Wethe.
Wow.
Wethe is being young. So the old fins on the youth or the young.
Wow, let's clap for them. That is very similar to mine. Huh? So every tribe, the old people were wise in knowing that if you want a comfortable old age in your youth, what are you building for that? Old age. Sindio? So it's not a new thing. Then we've had these expenses do not retire. Even an old person has expenses. Sindio? And then 40, somebody actually said 60. There, so my statistics is actually lower, that 40% of any income an old person gets in old age goes to medical care expenses. Okay, so just again some facts in sub-Saharan Africa, about 85%, imagine 85% of the aged population live in abject poverty. Do you agree or disagree in Africa? Most of them are very poor. Sindio? Pensions increase an older person's access to services such as health care, and it reduces the dependency on younger generation. It reduces black tax. Do you agree? If an old person has some income, then it reduces, it actually destroys the cycle of black tax. And then RBA statistics that we covered yesterday, and we also covered about the informal sector. Most people are in the informal sector, so it will also inform the main product that we'll talk about today. Okay, somebody shared this map with me, and it really made me think. This is the map of Africa. And somebody was very creative in trying to fit the world's countries into the map of Africa, just to show the capacity or the, what do we call it? The ability or the richness of the African culture, African continent, that you can actually fit China, you can fit Japan, you can fit Great Britain, India, Eastern Europe, and all those European countries, and the USA into Africa. Does this amaze you as it amazed me? So it shows Africa is such a rich continent. Our land mass is so huge. And yet among the continents, which is the poorest continent? Which is the poorest continent in the world? Who would want to share with us? Sorry? Yeah, Africa. And that's where our standard of living is actually the lowest in Africa. And does this make you feel sad? And I started asking myself, what is the main contributor to this? And that's also homework for you. I don't really have the answer. I just have, I can just guess. Again, I don't know, maybe you've heard this. So the power of planning. And one of the things, even like people from the Western world, when they come to Africa, or even Eastern China and whatever, one of the things they really beat us hands down. Do you agree it is planning? And it's even so evident by the way we plan our time. Sindio? Just that is a sign of our poor planning. That when I tell you I'll be there by, we meet at 1 day I'm leaving my house. Sindio? But for Wazungus, people in the Western world, what do? If they tell you 1, it's 1. I remember one time we were chased away by a Mzungu. We had gone to a company to tell them about insurance. They wanted to renew their cover. And we arrived 5 minutes late. And that's 5 minutes late. We were around the parking, looking for parking. And for us, we thought, wow, we've made it in very good time, given the Nairobi jam. Sindio, do you know that Mzungu did not see us? He chased us away. And told us to go and book another appointment where we can keep time. Because to him, his 5 minutes is very valuable. If it was you, do you think you'd have chased me away? You'd have said, oh, Mekuja, hey, bring tea. And then we first take another 30 minutes and then we start our meeting. Sindio? So I think for me, when I was thinking, I don't know you what you'd say your reason is, but for me, I thought these other people, if you look at it, one of the things they beat us hands down is planning for their future. For us, we don't really do a lot of planning. Somebody wrote a book on savings and planning ahead, where they used the example, the analogy of ants. Si munajua ant, I don't know what you call it in your language. And these grasshoppers, you know them, eh? So somebody did an analogy, a whole book on this, eh? And they said the ant, by the way, is even recognized in the Bible. God has even given us that example to learn from that small insect. And what happens when the environment is conducive, when it's summertime or when it's hot? Have you ever seen an ant just laying around? They're always very busy carrying something down to their bunkers. They'll be walking around, they see a dead insect, they carry it to the bunkers. They are always so busy. It is very difficult to actually see an ant resting. Sindio? So during summer, they'll be carrying food to their bunker. When the cold season or rain season or the dry season comes, those ants, they have something to eat during that period, and so their lives are preserved. What about the grasshopper? When the grass is green and nice like now, they'll be hopping around on the grass, maybe playing around. I don't know what language they are talking. Do they save anything for when the grass is done? They don't. So when the scorching sun comes and the grass dries up, all the grasshoppers die. By God's grace, they have laid eggs which hatch later. But it's really, the person was trying to show us that the ideal situation is to learn from the ant. And in our case here, the ideal situation is when we are young, when we are strong, when we can hustle. Instead of thinking of sherehe, we should do what? And living a nice life, we should think of saving. Even as you do your sherehe, you minimize kidogo and you save like the ant. You hustle because you're strong. If you have a job, take an additional something that you can do during your free time, so that over the weekends, you're not just doing sherehe with your friends, you can be able to do something extra. And that something extra that you save like the ant is what will save you in old age. Okay. So why do we need to save for retirement? One of the very key things which we've all agreed during this conference and which we all agree is you may be active today, but a time will come when you can't work. When you're young, it's very hard to get this, to understand this, because you think, that happens to other people. Me, I'm strong and young. And I always remember what happened once when I was maybe about 28, 30. The company I was working for, there's one of the senior managers. That time, I think the retirement age was 55. So he got to 55 and he was really resisting going home. And he was begging and writing letters, please add me one more year so that nijipange. And it was the joke among us, the young people, who were saying, how do you get to 55? Now, jajipanga, how now? To us, 55 looked like eternal life. But now, today when I hear somebody is 55 or 60, I say, they are so young, because I'm next there. Sindio? So what happens is, for a young person, if you spend time with the older people, you will actually understand why you have the best gift now. You have the best resource now of energy, of strength, of ideas, and this is the best time. It's actually, they say, like from 25 to 45. To 40. They say that is the decade. Okay, it's 10 years, but it's more than 10. That is the decade or the period of impact in your life. Okay? When you can then save for your future. Expenses don't retire. We have that. An old person still needs to eat, needs housing. Even if they have their own house, they need to maintain, they need to pay Kenya Power. Is it cheap to pay Kenya Power? They need, and will Kenya Power give you a lower rate because you're old? No, you need to pay for the water. Then you actually need help. You need somebody to wash your clothes, to clean, to cook for you, because you are old now. You can't be able to do all those jobs, okay? And then there is now longer life expectancy. We've said it's very normal nowadays. People are living an extra 30 years after retirement. Well, how will you finance that? Medical costs will definitely increase and double and triple in old age. Then now, maybe if you're young or you are in employment, you even have a medical scheme. That time you won't have it, and that's when you'll start getting sick. Then the traditional social structures that used to support people in old age have collapsed. Now, children don't even want to stay in this country. So by the time you hit that age, your children have gone abroad. They won't know whether you ate or you didn't eat. So it's very, very good for you to plan. Your children and the social structure that used to support people long ago is no longer there. Then because of urbanization, globalization, things have changed. And your children may remain dependent on you for longer than you had projected. Have you had RBA today confirming the study they did? And they actually discovered that so many people in their 60s, 70s are paying school fees and supporting their grandchildren. Because maybe their children got children, then they were retrenched and they don't have a job. A child has just decided to become irresponsible. Will you throw away your grandchildren? Will you do that, madam? No, you'll take them and feed them until now. So that's why you really need an income. Eh? Then the other reason, a very big reason, is the tax benefit. Yesterday I had somebody saying, if I build, and the question, Wangeshi, you asked, if I build some other, what did you call them?
Sources of income or passive income.
Yes, passive income. Then I think I'm okay. I don't need to have pension. Let me just mention this and then I'll address that question. So there is one of the greatest benefits to building your retirement fund through a registered pension plan is the tax benefits you enjoy. The government now has increased the tax exemption, the tax exempt amount to 30,000. That if somebody is earning 100,000 and one is not in a pension scheme, pay rates will apply on 100,000. 30% generally. So 30,000 will go to tax. 30% of 100,000 is what? Yes, that will go to tax. But for somebody who has taken up who is saving towards their pension, they will take the gross of 100,000, deduct 30, and tax that amount at 70,000. Okay. And then further, Mr. Kiptanui of RBA mentioned this for the post-retirement medical fund, which is a fund within your pension scheme. If you save, you can save up to 15,000 per month, again tax-free. So the total tax-free benefits for saving towards your retirement is now 45,000 per month. Okay. Then the tax, when the funds are invested, they actually grow tax-free. They are not subjected to tax. The funds, the registered pension funds. So your whatever returns come are not taxed by government. You know, like the way if you have a money market, it is whatever interest you earn is subjected to withholding tax. Sindio? You people know that, eh? Or in even treasury bonds, but the pension funds are exempted from that. Then tax-free, again, this was something we had fought for as an industry for like over 10 years. Eh? And this year, I don't know what the government did. I think they paid a lot of money to the 2000s in Inua Jamii. So they gave all these benefits last year. So now when you get to age 60, or according to your scheme, the early retirement age, which starts from age 50, now you draw your pension tax-free. You will not be taxed anything. If you get to age 50, if you're taking early retirement, or you get to age 60 and you're taking normal retirement, or if you have to retire due to ill health, somebody can get sick and they are retired on ill health, so you will not pay any tax on that money. You will draw it tax-free. So this, but if you withdraw early, like you're 30 and you decide sasa change job, umepata job ingine and you need your money, that money will be subjected to pay rates, which is very high. So what we are saying in Kenya now, the current tax policy that we have on retirement benefits, I think it's the only one, we are the only ones, either in Africa, it was alluded to yesterday, or even in very many parts of the world, where it is exempt, exempt, exempt. When you're contributing, you're given exemption from tax. When you invest the money, it is exempted from tax. When you withdraw, it is exempted. That tax model is not found, I think it's not actually found in any other world. We were actually fighting for it, but we were surprised when the government gave in. There's a hand there, because for the tax to be exempt is a very big tax advantage. Most countries, they either tax at the beginning and then exempt at the end, or they exempt, and then they tax you when you're exiting. Now, the structure. What is the structure of the retirement planning in Kenya? I think this is very good for us to know, so that you understand where you can plug in. If you are employed and your employer doesn't have a retirement plan, or if you're in the civil service, or if you're in self-employment or business. So at the start here, the base, we have the state-sponsored schemes, or the the statutory schemes. We have the civil servants scheme, civil service scheme, and that was really discussed well yesterday. All the civil servants are in this scheme. And then we have the NSSF. In the next slide, I'll tell you a little about the NSSF. So we have NSSF, which applies to all the employed people in Kenya, and employee includes your house manager. The house manager you have employed is an employee. So all the employees and employers are supposed to contribute to NSSF. And then in addition, if you're in self-employment, you can also do voluntary contributions to NSSF. So the idea of that was to try and cover everybody in Kenya, so that they're able to save something for their retirement. The second stage of the benefit of the employment, the other level of plans that we have in Kenya are employer-based plans. This one, we have occupational schemes, like the Nation Media Group Staff Retirement Benefit Scheme. That's an occupational scheme, because it is only open to employees of Nation Media Group. I cannot go there and say I want to join that scheme. It's only for their staff. So that is only for specific companies. And the sponsor of those schemes is the employer. Okay? So if you work, wherever you're working and you don't have a staff scheme, I think you need to start that discussion with your HR and with other people in your organization, so that they start a scheme for their staff. And in these schemes, the employer contributes and the employee also contributes. Then we have, you want to stop me?
No, there was a question, but I have told her you're almost done. So
okay.
For you,
Yes.
Once you're done, then we'll take questions. I know everyone has a question.
Okay, yeah. So then we also have the umbrella schemes. Now, there are some smaller employers, maybe they have 5 employees or 10 employees, and they would find it expensive to set up the occupational scheme, and then you have to appoint trustees, you have to appoint the service providers who are here, the administrator, all that. So we have what we call umbrella schemes in the industry, which have become now very popular. So it's like an umbrella. So several employers come in, set up their own, they come and set up a scheme for their members and plug into the umbrella scheme, which is already registered, enjoying all the tax benefits, has service providers. So even your cost as a scheme becomes very minimal, because you're sharing service providers with maybe another 1,000 schemes, okay? Then For people who are also in self-employment or in smaller organizations, we have the individual retirement benefits plan. Let's move to the next slide so that I cover that more. So let me first mention about the NSSF. These were the key objectives to help provide social security for members and then transform the NSSF. But one of the greatest advantage that the government allowed is that it discovered that not everyone is very comfortable putting their money in NSSF, and I won't mention anything beyond that. So they allowed private schemes to opt out. So your scheme can opt out tier 2. There are 2 levels, tier 1, tier 2. So you can opt out of NSSF and put your tier 2 money in a private scheme where you have more control, where you can transfer it in case, I won't talk a lot. We are in Kenya. So these are the contributions for NSSF. We'll share these. You can look at it. But what you need to note is as we go, if your scheme has not opted out, as we go first year, people are contributing 360 employee, 360 employer, 720. Tier 2, you can see the amount. You can already see by year 4, tier 2 amount will be 11,880. A lot of money. By the time we get to 5th year, it will be 6% of your salary, and for the employer, 6%. That's 12% of your salary. So that is why most people wanted employers are using that option of contracting out of the tier 2 and putting their funds in a private scheme. So this is just what we talked about: occupational schemes, umbrella schemes, individual retirement plans, post-retirement medical fund. So this is the pre-retirement stage where you're saving towards your retirement. So you can either join an occupational scheme, your employer can join an umbrella scheme, or you can individually set up your own individual retirement plan. On our website, we have the details of all the providers. You just need to contact them, and now you can actually open it on your mobile. And then we have the post-retirement medical fund that I've talked about. So in your scheme, you can also say that you want to put in extra money for your post-retirement medical fund. So after pre-retirement savings phase, you then go to the benefit access. These are the rules. If your scheme is established as a provident fund, then you're given your whole fund at age 60 or whatever age you're retiring. Sasa uende ujipange na pesa yako. The messes that have happened in that space, you've never handled 6 billion or 10 billion, and then now you're 60 and you're given 10 billion. Confusion enters your head. And so many people have messed up their lives using that. So I always advise people, please avoid taking your pension as a lump sum. And the government also now came up with this rule, and they said in a pension scheme, you can only withdraw up to a maximum of a third. So if you have 12 million, you can withdraw what? You can be given your 4 billion, you go and try your 2 experiments. But 12 minus 4 is 8. 8 million, you have to either buy an annuity, which is called a pension, or you buy an income drawdown, So what is an annuity? You've seen in the village, for those people who maybe in the village or even in Nairobi now, who are the most comfortable people in their retirement? Mostly it's the civil servants, the teachers, the nurses. Why? Because they have cash flow. Sindio? If you go to any village, those are the people who actually control the village politics, because they have money every month coming in. That is what we call an annuity or a pension. So from your lump sum, you approach an insurance company, and you don't approach one, ask for quotations from as many. That information is very available on our website, on RBA, and then you compare. And you can always ask for help. So you buy an annuity, a monthly income. So that annuity or pension is payable to you for the rest of your life. Even if you live up to 100 years, you'll always have a monthly income. And we even have pension annuities, which have an escalation. Every year they escalate to guard you against inflation. Then we have an income drawdown. So basically an income drawdown is you put your 8 million in an investment, an income drawdown fund, and then every year you draw 10% of that fund. Now up to a minimum of 10 years. Those are the RBA rules. So the danger with the income drawdown, you're at 60, you start drawing 10%. By the time you hit age 70 in 10 years, you could finish your fund. You could outlive your fund. Sindio? So after age 70, when you're very vulnerable, you don't have money. So I always say for income drawdown, unless you're that person who has so many other investments that can support you in that age, be very careful about it because you can run out of money. And you heard what Mr. Odundo said yesterday, the 5 things. One of them was the annuity. Then, of course, the cash payment of 100%, we've already talked about it. And now at that time, you can also access your post-retirement medical fund and then buy yourself either a medical cover or use it to pay your hospital bills. Very quickly, I think I'll skip this. I just wanted to mention the last graph, the last row there. We have segregated funds. We have segregated funds and guaranteed funds. This is a question many people ask. Segregated funds are mainly managed by fund managers. And the key thing to remember with segregated funds, you're given an option and asked, where do you want us to invest your money? In which shares? But you carry the risk of investment. The risk of investment falls on you. The fund manager advises you, it does the investment of the fund, but if they go up, you earn. If it goes down, you're the one carrying the risk. With guaranteed funds, your capital, any amount you put into your fund, if you've built like a 10 million fund, it is guaranteed in contract. You cannot lose that money. It can only increase because there is also a minimum guaranteed rate of return. So for people who do not want to play patapotea with their pension, they prefer to have the guaranteed funds. For people who are risk takers, they can say, it's okay, I'm 57, I'll take the risk. Maybe the stock market will not have crashed by the time I hit age 60. Then, now, who can join the retirement, individual retirement plans? This is where I wanted to concentrate because we've understood the others for employers. So anybody who is self-employed, if you're in a small employer who doesn't have a scheme, if you're in seasonal or contractual employment, if people working in the diaspora, because they want to retire here, and then especially NGOs have, they are really heavy on this. So with an individual pension plan, we said yesterday, it's very easy. We have very many providers now where you can actually access it on your phone, open the account, start putting your money, and you can actually see your funds and how they are growing. And your fund starts earning interest from the minute you invest it, the day you invest it. So what happens with an individual retirement plan, you have control over your money. You can be able to track how it's growing. If you're not happy with that provider, you can, it's very portable. You just give them a notice and you transfer the money. And then when you get to retirement, you can then apply this. And you also enjoy all the tax benefits, all the benefits available to the other pension schemes. So with the individual plan, it is you now who has taken that initiative because you're the only one who can take charge of your retirement. So these ones, you can visit our website. You'll be able to see all the individual pension plans in the market, and you can also visit the RBA website. You can be able to get that information and decide which one works better for you. Okay. So it's because I want to leave time for, yes, so where can you get? I've said like insurance companies are key founders of individual retirement benefits plans, but we also have others. And the schemes are registered by both RBA and KRA and enjoy all the tax benefits. Okay. So now I wanted us to look at, let's move. Yeah, so I wanted us to look at how you can know. This is again regarding your, how do you know, track your money. We talked about mobile apps and web portals, self-help, self-help portals where you can log in and check your interest, check your statements. Then every scheme is mandated by law to hold an annual general meeting where they tell you about the performance of the scheme and you can ask all the questions you need. And for insurance companies, if you want to see the interest rates declared by various schemes, you can go to the RBA website or you can check our website. We have that actually up to 5 years back. You can see how each provider, what they have declared, and then the interest rates declared there are net. So if they say they declared 10 or 12, it's net of any expense. Now, what are some of the myths that prevent people from, or that people have about retirement? The first one is that the government will take care of me. Is that true or false? Yeah? It's very false. Sindio? Even developed countries now are unable to take care of their people as rich as they are, those economies. Sindio? The other day we are seeing they're even increasing the retirement age in is it UK? It's currently 67. They want to increase it, I think, to 69. Why? Because they can't pay the retirees. So I think they want them to work until they die. And then they don't pay them. Sindio? So myth number 2, my social security benefits will be adequate in my retirement. I've had very many people saying, but I contribute to NSSF. Now, the NSSF has, okay, they've changed it, so the contributions are more. But I'll just give you a small story I encountered of someone. I don't know, do you know anybody who has gotten, like the people who have retired? You can, okay, I know it's your money, but can you just give us a range of how much you were paid from NSSF? Is there anybody who wants to share with us? Anybody wants to share with us how much they got? So, yes? 200,000 and some hundreds. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Actually, that's the range. So there's one time somebody came to our office because they wanted us to help them. You, Aki, please help me. Give me a contact at NSSF because I am under a lot of pressure. The guy was 55. He had taken a loan from the bank. The bank was about to auction him. And so he remembered, oh, but I have NSSF. So he wanted us to help him, give him somebody at NSSF, a contact who could process his benefits within 3 days because the bank was going to auction him. He needed the NSSF money to save his asset. And so I told him, even before we try and connect you with somebody to NSSF, have you gotten your statement to see how much you have? You know, because in his mind he was imagining he has like 5 million. And I told him, all the people I have met, the range is 200,000 after 30 years of working. So that is a myth and it will not work. Sindio, my children will take care of me. Parents, is that true? Not always. No. Like somebody was telling me yesterday about how they were with someone and then she got a call from her mom. And she got so annoyed. She was like, huyu madhi ananisumbua kila wakati pesa, pesa, pesa. Do you want your children to be ignoring your calls because they see you and they see you asking for money which they don't have? No. You want to have, when you call, your children are very excited about taking your call. So number 4, my expenses during retirement will be minimal. That is a lie. It actually will be in the range of about 70% of your current expenses. Then it is too early to start saving. We've said no. The life journey. Sindio, the earlier you start, the better before you hit that stage where all expenses are on you. It is too late to start saving now. And I remember somebody saying, how can we correct some of the mistakes we made? It's never too late. Because even if you're 60 and you're having you still have some energy to hustle and maybe do something, you can save for the later years of 70 and 80. So even if it's late, putting something aside is still very good. I can keep working forever. Is that possible? When you're young, you think so, but it's a lie. Sindio? And then I don't really get any tax benefits. See, we've seen the tax benefits. Okay. Then to close, I just want us to look at some self-talk on retirement planning. So at age 25, most people say, I think I'm too young to think about retirement. But don't gonna time, and you only live once. Do we know 25-year-olds who think like that? Who talk like that? Very, very many. Then as the journey of life continues, and then they now get to age 35, they say, well, with all these expenses, I have school fees, I have this, I have these bills, I think I'll start thinking about retirement at age 45. Because now they're in the mix of it, of expenses. Then, by the time the children now clear school, they wake up and they are 55. And they say, what? I should have started when I was 25. And then by age 60, everybody I have met says, I wish I started when I got my first job, or I wish I saved more. I have not met somebody who said, I should have reduced the amounts. Sindio? So I think in conclusion, this is somebody who I think I want you to tell me whether you agree with this statement or not. If you are poor and financially insecure, or you don't have money, while you're young, it's much better, Sindio? Because you're strong, you can hustle, you can do something. But if you, unfortunately, if you get to old age and you don't have finances, you have very few choices, and it's one of actually the saddest situation to be in life. Okay? So thank you very much. And you can see there, it's sasa hivi. It's when you start to think for planning for your retirement, like the answer. And to finish off, these are our Aki, the email, the pages where you can actually get more information. You can see Understand Insurance. You can visit there. Visit our website. You can see all that information. And so just to finish, Wangeshi, I will answer your question that you asked. Other investment plans. I can build other investment plans, so I will not need a retirement plan. So the other investment plans I find, I find most people thinking about is the money market, land, rentals. Sindio? So when it comes to other investment opportunities, I always say they are not an alternative to pension. They are an addition to pension. Have the pension, but also have those ones. Because, number one, we've seen about the tax benefits. Number two, the discipline. That once you start, that money is saved for you and you earn the compound interest until you retire. If it's my money market fund, which I have, when nikipato na kashida, what do? I go and withdraw. Land, I may not be able to sell it when I have a medical need, or when I'm old. Rentals for very many years, and very many Kenyans think if I have rentals, I am sorted. So that one, I'll just give you an example of somebody who is currently 85. Walikuwa wamejipanga kabisa, they have like 3 rental houses. Their children are abroad. Sasa, this lady is 85. 85, by the time the children discovered that tenants in 2 houses had not paid rent. One for 15 months, the other one for 18 months. At 85, do you have the energy to run after tenants? Even right now, even when you're I like the way you're laughing, yes. Even now when you're young, dealing with tenants is not a joke. See, Kenyans, we know ourselves. Even if your landlord was not tough enough, 1 month unakaa ngumu unakataa kulipa, wonder what they'll do. Sindio? Now, can you imagine dealing with an 85-year-old lady and she's your landlord? Anakuja unamwambia, kuja kesho, you know tomorrow her bones will be aching all over, she will not be able to come. Sindio? So by the time now the children could intervene and get a lawyer, they were actually getting people to, just hama uende. And meanwhile, all this time, the lady does not even have food to eat, does not have money for her medical. So I always tell people, even as you're thinking at with rental, you're very well covered, think twice. You need cash. Cash flow is king in old age. Sawa sawa. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pauline. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali. A warm one, please. Pauline, before you go to sit, I know there are so many questions that will be coming in, and before we pave way for the next facilitator, please allow me to take some few questions, and Pauline, maybe you can take note.
Yeah.
I'll start with my friend here. She had a question about medical fund, but elaborate. Your name?
Good morning. My name is Jackie. I just wanted to ask an elaboration on the retirement medical fund.
Retirement medical fund. You can take note of that. I have one more question here. Your name and your question.
Thank you. My name is Stephen Saenye. So I wanted to ask about this trend nowadays where we are going to contracts. Most employers are converting employment contracts into contract, not P&P. So the gratuity bit of it, does it enjoy the same benefits? Is it tax-free, all that? And then two, NSSF versus these other occupational schemes, the rate of return, is it the same? How do you compare? How do you, Then this post-retirement medical fund, is it available to people not in formal employment? Is it voluntary? Is it available to everyone to partake of the same? Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that question came from her as well. I think, Pauline, what you need to clarify for us is if I'm paying pension, am I automatically qualified for the medical or do I pay it separately? There's someone else here.
Mimi naitwa Garuya Joseph. Wakati tunaongea mambo ya kuwekeza, si vizuri tupige upande fulani kwa sababu kama yule mzee aliweka pesa katika shamba ama akaweka katika kujenga manyumba, wewe umetuambia kwa Kikuyu ukororeaga withi. Kwanza tusipuuze hayo. Wacha tuwe na kitu kinaitwa kuwa na kitu ya kwamba sambamba ya kwamba kwa sababu yule mtu aliwekeza kama baba yangu mimi aliwekeza katika mashamba, lazima mimi nitatuza baba yangu nikiangalia ile shamba yake na nitamtuza. Kwa hivyo tuwe tukiangalia kwa Afrika kuwekeza kwa shamba, kuwekeza kwa pension, umuhimu ni gani, lakini tusionyeshane ya kwamba upande mmoja ni vimbaya na upande mwingine ni hivi. Asante.
Asante, na naweza clarify. Pauline alituambia you diversify, meaning unaweza peana pension, lakini hajasema pia tusitafute mashamba ama tusiekeze kwa shamba, but Pauline can clarify that. I had a question on that side. Please allow me to very quickly get to her.
Good morning. I'm Virginia Njeri. I'm a beneficiary of a pension and annuity because I retired at 50. This is my 55th year. And what I can advise you is that when you retire, don't carry your money. You will have so many friends and you will drain yourself. So all that I needed is a clarification on the tax incentives, where on the slide it stated that members also enjoy tax exemption of up to 15,000 per month and 180 per annum to the post-retirement medical fund. I think it's the same question. And also in the tax-free investment growth. Otherwise, I'm enjoying my pension, my annuity. It's a good thing to do.
Thank you very much, Virginia. Swali la mwisho? Kuna swali hapa? One more question before I move to... there was a question here. Yes, your name and the question.
Good morning, all of us. My name is Margaret Gitao. I'm a retired civil servant, and I'm also enjoying my pension. What I would like to know from Pauline is that I have also invested in one of the money markets, but as she said, she seems not to be very confident maybe in rental houses and all that. But if I do the mathematics of the money that we are enjoying from the money market, it is not comparable. Because if you save, for example, 2.5 million, and maybe you earn about 14,000, and maybe you have some rental houses, say even 10 rooms, and we are charging about 10,000. I think it is also of good benefits. The rentals are good, and the money market is also good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One more person on this side. Swali lako, wanza na jina lako na swali.
Hi, good morning. My name is Waidhaje. I had two questions and a few more, but my main two questions are, what is the difference between RBA and AKI, and are the pension schemes by law required to register with both or either? So if somebody was trying to find out what all the pension schemes are, where would they check, with AKI or with RBA? My other question is, do you work in tandem with other government associations like the unclaimed funds? Because I don't know if they capture the unclaimed pensions, because a lot of the older people, even pre-80s, 90s, and early 2000s, some of them have pensions that they're unclaimed or are unaware that their employers were contributing to, and a lot of people could be benefiting from them. So if somebody was to try to help their elder parents or relatives or themselves to find out if these they have pensions out there that they were not claimed. And my final question is, the IPP, the individual pension plans, and the umbrella body, and the diaspora, is there a way to correlate those three? Because if now you're diaspora and you want to be an individual member or come in as an umbrella, under an umbrella, how does that work, and where would somebody get more information on that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very important question. I hope, Pauline, you've captured that. Would you kindly allow us to have Pauline answer the questions, and then I'll pick one more round because we only have 15 minutes to go.
Okay, thank you very much. So the first question is from Jackie and also from Saini. The question about, and also I think somebody else requested, the question on retirement, post-retirement medical fund. So the post-retirement medical fund, how it works, you must first be a member of a retirement scheme, either an occupational one, an umbrella, or an individual retirement plan. So these schemes also have now been required by law to allow their members to create a separate fund where members can save for their post-retirement medical fund. So there is the main scheme, and then the scheme creates a sub-fund for the post-retirement fund. So members willingly, voluntarily decide how much they want to save towards the post-retirement medical fund. It's a sub-fund under the main scheme. So now what happens is that post-retirement medical sub-fund, you are also able to get a statement, check how it's growing. If you go and do a side hustle or you get a bonus at the end of the year and you maybe earn 100,000, you can even decide to put it there. So you can build your post-retirement medical fund, and when you get statements, you'll be getting two different statements. You'll be getting statement for your retirement fund and then a statement for the post-retirement medical fund, so that you're able to track how your fund is growing. Now, at retirement, which could either be early retirement or normal retirement or even late retirement, This fund, what you're supposed to do, you cannot be given. You don't just access it. You use it either to buy a medical cover, or you can, like now, if SHA, we hope it to, yeah, but we were told it's actually working, so it will improve. You can also use it to pay your SHA premiums, and you can use it to present, to actually pay for you the bills directly. So you can use that fund to pay your medical fund policy, or to pay for SHA premiums, or to pay your medical bills. Sawa sawa. Thank you, Jackie. I can see you're okay. Then Mr. Saini has said contract employment, yeah, which is the new way of actually employment now. And then we have gratuity funds for people in contract employment. The government has seen that development, and the government now allows you to transfer your gratuity fund and enjoy all the tax benefits I mentioned into a registered pension fund. So gratuity funds, like if I have a 3-year contract or 5-year contract, after every 5 years, I'm paid a lump sum by my employer. So the government now allows me to transfer that to a pension scheme and enjoy the tax benefits up to the limits we mentioned. Then Mr. Saini also asked about NSSF funds, the rate of return. Unfortunately, Mr. Saini, I would not be able to comment about that, because for the private schemes, the rates of returns are open, because they do annual financial accounts audits, and you can even get the rates of return from the RBA website, from our annual report, which we do. But for NSSF, I remember sometimes in the paper, I think 2 months ago, somebody had even gone to court to force NSSF to do an audit. For the last, I think 3 or 4 years, they hadn't done any audit. So I don't want to comment so much on NSSF, because there is a standing case in court. One of the workers' unions court case has never been resolved. Then there is the post-retirement fund. Is it available to the informal market? Yes, because if you're in the informal market, you can join an individual pension plan. And then when you join that individual pension plan, it has a post-retirement medical fund where you can save. Then Mr. Ngaruya talked about the alternative investment, and I agree completely with you, Mr. Ngaruya. Land is a major investment in Kenya, and rentals, also to mention what I think Margaret has said. What I'm saying, and even me, I have some rental, and I also have land, Cindy, and I also have money market. But what I was saying, you must diversify. When I was just saying it is very good to have the rentals, like now you're able to chase those tenants. But as you get to that age, if you don't have another investment and you only have the land, can you suffer when you have land in old age? Yes, especially if you don't have people around you to work on that land. So you may be lucky now that you are strong, you are helping your father, but sometimes we've said about children, and our generation, those ones who help their parents, is ending. Somebody actually said, and Gen Zs, please forgive me, it's not me who said this, the Gen Zs don't even have it in their DNA to help anybody else. Sindio? So you have to be clever. If you have that land, unaweza invest in land, unaona ina appreciate, ukienda kufikisha miaka 75, unauza hiyo land, unaweka kwa money market. Sindio? Ndio trisi kuwe na ka income which will not be hustling. Ama unaweka kwa treasury bond. Ama unaongeza kwa annuity yako. So what I'm saying is, let's diversify so that you have cash flow in old age. Because when you're old and you can't work, cash flow is king. Sawa sawa. So all those other investments are also very good, but you monitor. So that as you get to an age where unaona sasa zinakushinda, you can actually sell them. They have appreciated. And then, but if you have your children around and they are responsible and they are able to follow those tenants, it's very good. But if they've gone abroad and they are not able to follow the tenants, then you might have problems. That's where I was coming from. Then Virginia, thank you. We are happy to see people enjoying their retirement. Virginia and Margaret, that is very good. And you wanted a clarification on the tax incentives, the 15,000 per month for post-retirement. So any contributions you make to the post-retirement fund, because you're the one to decide how much you want to save. If you decide it's 5,000, it will be a tax-free benefit. So even when you're doing your returns to KRA, even if you're in self-employment, you will put that as a tax exempt contributions. So if you decide it's 15,000, it will be a tax exempt contribution to your post-retirement fund. It's there in law. And then on the tax-free investment, is that this fund, the post-retirement fund and the retirement fund, see, they are invested. So you don't pay tax on the investment return. If I put like the money market I have, before they give me my investment, they always show me how much tax. I think it's 15% withholding tax that they deduct. Treasury bonds, they also have that. Rent, I'm supposed to pay tax. Sindio? So, but now with the pension, the registered pension funds, that's where I mentioned that the investment return is exempted from tax. That's why we said for pension now it is exempt, exempt, exempt. For other investments, it is tax exempt. Okay. Then, Margaret, I think we've covered that about the rentals. Rentals are very good. Please don't get me wrong. They are very good. And even land is very good because it really appreciates. I just said you monitor so that as you get to another age, unaona mimi sina energy ya kukimbizana na hao majenzi wako kwa nyumba zangu, then you know what to do. Sindio? So then, Mr. Waidhaji, you asked about the difference between RBA, AKI, and KRA. RBA is the Retirement Benefits Authority. That is the regulator in the retirement benefits sector. If I was to be asked for my vote of the best performing regulator, I would actually vote RBA. They are so effective. They have really protected pension funds in this country. And even when I meet anybody and they say, oh, I have a problem, sijui my pension, because in the law, you're supposed, once you retire or you put in an application for your money to be paid, the law says 30 days. If you haven't been paid within 30 days, I just tell somebody, just go to RBA. Let me tell you, that service provider will be given 7 days to pay that money. I have seen it with my eyes. RBA are very effective. You don't have to fear about your pension funds. Pension funds in this country are the most protected. I'm talking of private pensions and maybe the civil services. Most protected funds, okay? Then, where do I check for the register? So RBA is the regulator. KRA, we all know Kenya Revenue Authority, the tax body. So for a scheme to enjoy those tax benefits, then it has to be registered with KRA. So all schemes now in the market are registered because we lobbied and we told KRA, because they would take so long to register a scheme, up to 3 years. We told them, why don't you let RBA just register the schemes, and any scheme registered by RBA who do it very fast within a few days, you take it as registered with KRA as well. And they agreed, and now it's in law. So all schemes now are registered automatically with KRA because they have been registered with RBA and they enjoy all the tax benefits. Now, then AKI is the Association of Kenya Insurers. So AKI is just an umbrella body of the insurance industry. As we are not a regulator, okay? But if you come to us, we will try to help where, like now, give you information, because we have a lot of information in the industry. That's why I said, when you go to our website, we have a lot of information. We've even linked our website with other regulators or other bodies that would be of help to you. Sawa sawa. So where do you check for registered schemes? RBA. Please check with RBA for all the registered schemes. You'll see them there. Occupational schemes, individual pension plans or individual retirement plans, umbrella schemes, so that you know which one to join. UFA, thank you. Mr. Waidhaji, you have brought a very important information about UFA, and I would request Nation, Wangeshi, next year maybe you can think of inviting UFA because there are very many Kenyans, their fans or the fans of their loved ones who passed away are lying in this authority and they don't know. And very briefly, I attended an UFA forum, and one of they told us a case. And you can check, I don't know, somebody can check, just Google the number you need to dial for you to check whether you have funds there. So there's this family, their grandfather had bought Kenya Brewery shares, I think in 1966 or 65, just 100 shilling, I think 100 shares. And, you know, lost his certificate, everybody forgot about it until his grandson last year checked UFA. And do you know how much that money was worth? And the family was languishing in the poverty. 256 million. In fact, I just said, I hope that family does not fight, you know. And the shares were bought in 1965. The money has been growing. Shares have been multiplying. The 256. And the grandfather passed away. So please check. Check with UFA. Even you just put your name there and ID. You might find you have money there. Okay. Then somebody asked now the difference between individual pension plan, umbrella, and the diaspora. Let me explain. Individual pension plan or individual retirement plan, niyo tumesema there are some schemes in the market which are registered, and if you go to our RBA website, you'll see as individual retirement plans. You can join those as an individual anytime. And by the way, you can have more than one. Like, for example, I'm in the KICC staff scheme, and I also have an individual pension plan. So you can have many. And then umbrella schemes, I said, is for those small employers, SMEs, who have few staff and they don't want to register an occupational scheme. And the expenses are also more. Like for the Nation Media Group, that's a major scheme with expenses, with its own set of service providers. So as an umbrella, as a small employer, you plug into the umbrella scheme, and the costs are very minimal because they are shared among very many employers. Okay. And the service provider does all the work. You don't even have to if you don't have that capacity to keep, to manage the scheme. For diaspora, there is no scheme, but what the diaspora people do, a lot of them. Have you seen the remittances that diaspora people send to this country? A lot. And sometimes I feel sad and I say our people, because we have so many Kenyans working abroad, when they retire here, will they have some money to live on? Ama they are buying fake houses through their family members. You know? So they can, if you have somebody in diaspora, you can tell them to open an individual pension plan, and they start saving for their retirement in that plan. Those plans are available even to them. So Wangeshi, I think I've answered all the questions. Thank you.
Yes, I think there's more questions, but we also have another two more facilitators coming in. If we can allow them, and then we get into questions, or you have a pressed one that you need Pauline to answer. Pauline, just answer this one.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted clarification on the 70%. There's somewhere you stated that your expenses during retirement from 60, it may go to 70%, and that one is very scary. So can you elaborate on what that one constitutes? Is it just the personal one to keep me, or because 70%, it is very scary.
Thank you. There's one who has sent me to ask you a question. He says that as a member of or a staff from KICC, many of these schemes do not want old people. If you're old, hawataki you start saving with them. What are you guys doing to take care of the old who you said it's never too late to start saving?
Thank you very much.
There's one more final one.
Okay.
Sorry, mine is not even a question. It is a running, because we are all running. We understand there is a time, but it's important. We shall keep time, is okay. But First of all, can we clap for Pauline? She has gotten an IA of 95, but there is a 5% which you are going to work on. So that I don't get stressed. We came to learn. Pauline, you can see there are a few essays here with Ingrea, isn't it? And we have the young ones here. It means now there is a gap we want to be covered in your next conference because it is all on pensions. Like now, unajua utasumbuka sana ukikaa karibu na mimi, lakini I will allow you to keep time. And that is the message utaambia watu wa nation for that improvement. So ulikumbuka ile mzee wa kwanza when you are asking about the extensions, he said he was coming to Barindate and see what he did with his money is whether you expected him to have done. Unaona mlikuwa muanze vitina na mzee mwenzangu hapa kwa sababu ya rento. What we are trying to say is we have advised the young people to save. They have reached 60. What do they do with that money which they have been saving? That is also very important to them because they may be poor within even a year or two and they have taken their 20 or 40 years of saving. Allow me to give you an example. When my father retired, I heard that he wanted to buy a Land Rover. But when he got the money, somewhere he opened a bar, and he and my mother and another wife, somewhere the other wife bought also a land. So like me, when I retired, because I didn't want to repeat the same mistake, I built the rentals. So you scared me when you said that at 120 I won't be able to get somebody to run after them. When they are young tax who are professionals, we shall employ to do the job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pauline. Naambiwa masaa inaendelea kuisha lakini heshima ni sio.
Habari zenu nyinyi wote. Mimi nilichenga manyumba. I want to encourage wale wanataka kujenga manyumba ya rented houses. Anakuanga shida. Mimi nilichenga nikafugusa wengine walikuwa alipe pesa nikapelekwa mahali kotini kwa sababu sheria is not allowed ufunge mtu nyumba. Ukifunga you have to give notice of 3 months or 6 months. Sheria akanishika kwa sababu niliweka kifuli. So nikaona yangu naweza enda haraka. Nikauza. So sometimes I support nani? Pauli. Sometimes mambo ya manyumba ni ngumu. Unless upatie lawyer. Akuja collect pesa tena anaweka mfuko. So ni shida. Ni shida kabisa hapo. I don't encourage people ajenge manyumba. My friend, utaenda haraka. Enda haraka.
Asante sana, Pauline.
Thank you. I won't even comment about the rentals. I think he has really summarized it so well for us. Thank you. So we just said monitor, 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 be careful. Because you don't want to be dragged to court when you're 85. And very sorry about that experience.
Thank you. Thank you. I was a little bit late today. I was here yesterday. And my name is Edward Akoko. I've traveled all the way from Homa Bay to come for this seminar. And we appreciate those who have traveled. We also appreciate for those who have traveled. Most of these people here are Nairobians, I believe. But those who have traveled like him from Baringo, he has traveled, he was here yesterday, and some few whom I didn't notice, okay? So we are in the learning process here. And that's why I maintained that we should go the SHA way in making Kenyans aware of pension. If we go the SHA way and the home, whatever, house, affordable housing, so many Kenyans will register. And we will avoid the old age poverty. Okay? Let's not look at it. No people here are worried that they're going to be old and they're going to be poor. You have heard about the rental. It is a no goes on to me. Because at your age, You'll be abused at your house. You'll be taken to court. So you better go to stocks. I did save in stocks. It helped me a lot when I retired. You see? So for those who don't know about stocks, that's the area you should go. Or bills for that matter. Bills is a government bill, okay? So better go there. Don't go to rental, please. You'll die soon because of complaints. And some will abuse you. I'll pay you in 3 months. And within 3 months, I'm a hammer. I mean, please, we are learning here. And I keep on insisting, Pauline, that the government must be here all times. You're a private body. The main people, stakeholders in this issue is the government. The way they are doing it with SHA and affordable housing, they should take it that way. Okay? You are private people. You only come in as stakeholders. And that's what I'm saying. So many stakeholders are people who are representatives of pensioners. But I personally registered a body which is called PESAFA. In full is Pensioners Sans Frontier Association, meaning without borders. You're a pensioner, but with no borders. I don't exclude. I bring on board anybody who is a pensioner or pensionable in 5 years or 10 years to come, so that we forge like in your panel, there is nobody, there is no department or a body which is representing pensioners. It's only stakeholders who are after the money from the pensioner. Okay, so we should also bring on board and encourage people to register bodies which are looking at the pensioners here. I have one. I don't know how many they are there, right? Like him here is Mr. Sambu is from Baringo. He represents me in Baringo. And now the entire Rift Valley. So he's registering members. Even the diaspora people have advised him. Call on them if you know them. They register with you so that you keep on informing them what is happening in Kenya. Okay? Yes. Thank you. And you answer my question about old age is a no-go zone for insurance. Thank you.
For old age is a no-go zone for insurers. That's a question that he wanted you to answer.
Yes, I'll answer that. Yes, thank you very much.
And as you answer that, maybe we'll be getting into our next session, so let's prepare that as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Okoko. I will not add anything else. And thank you for the good work you're doing, even bringing pensioners together. And I like your idea of having government drive the retirement message, the way it's doing the others, because then it will help government. Because when you're old and poor, you are the government's burden. Thank you. So then 70% replacement income, what that means, it's research done by RBA. RBA, go to their website. They have done a lot of research. So it's after doing all this research, interviewing a lot of people, they say that the ideal income you should have in retirement is 70% of your pre-retirement income. So if you are earning a net of 100,000 per month, you should aim for a net of an income of 70,000 per month. That is what will, because some expenses will reduce, like traveling, you know. So at least aim for, na hakuna kununua masuti mingi, you know, eating lunch out there. So they say the ideal you should aim for is 70% of your pre-retirement net income. So if it was 100,000, 70,000. Now, old age, old people being locked out of retirement schemes. Now, for occupational schemes or umbrella schemes, you may not be. Oh, yes. Now, insurance about individual retirement, medical.
From the medical perspective, when you go to the hospital as an old person, they look at you twice. Right? Not as the young ones or the Gen Zs. They'll treat you well and know you have money. But when an insurance company sees you, they see poverty in you. They will not, even as you age, you become like a child. You keep on sickening now and often. So they take that as a disadvantage to them as insurers because they're after making money. So you cannot insure old people, yet the young people are there who will give you money and will never be sick all the time, right? So that's where I say
Oh,
it's a no-go
okay.
zone for old age.
Okay. I had not understood. I thought it's them joining the retirement schemes because they can still join the individual pension plan. I hear you very clear and loud about the medical schemes, saying age limit. But now, we thank God, with this development of post-retirement medical, it has also opened the medical insurance field. Because post-retirement, you basically will be after retirement. So now we have several schemes in the industry. You can visit our website. I think, Hazel, we may have that information, or we can capture it. We have several companies in the industry now who are covering people, allowing even you to enter the scheme at age 85. Yeah, so we have those schemes. The premium will be slightly more, not slightly, it will be more because you are old. Yeah. Yeah, but it's something we are discussing in the industry, even with the regulator. The regulators like RB are also on it. And also now with SHA, if SHA works, I don't think they will increase premium because I'm old. So I think somebody can aim then to have the SHA and also have to reduce the expenses so that you don't have to buy a very big cover for a medical cover. But the products are there. Yeah, we have several companies now that are offering seniors. They are calling it the seniors medical schemes. Yeah. Thank you very much. So it's our responsibility to preach the retirement business. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Let's put our hands together for Maureen. Tumclap for Pauline, tumclap here tafadhali. Pauline, thank you so much. I hope you have learned a lot from Pauline. And I think, Pauline, you're still around, so anyone who has a question can still come later on to ask you the question. And at this particular point, we want us to talk about individual pension plan, right? Thank you so much, Polly. Let's talk about understanding individual pension plan. Since morning, different speakers have talked about individual pension planning, pension plan. And what is it really? We have two people, facilitators, exciting members of this industry who will come and explain to us what this takes and what can we do. But even more important, by the time you leave that door, I know if you've wanted to invest or save in a certain pension, you'd want to know, where do I start? Kuna ka app fulani mahali naeza finya tu hivi nianze kusave leo tu. You know, if I don't work in the formal sector, if I'm not employed, where do I begin? And so that's where we are headed now. Let me take this opportunity to invite Maureen Makoha. Karibu sana. Give her a warm welcome. Please make your way to the stage. And we'll also have Simon Ngodo. Please clap for him as well. Maureen is an associate general manager at Equity Life, and she's not going to be alone. She is with Simon Ngodo, who is the customer experience manager at Equity Life. Karibuni sana.
Okay, thank you, Wangeshi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I need to know that I'm talking to some people. No, you're good. Yes. Okay, I think this is good enough. So, I want to paint a story of a Wanjiko or a Cheriot, because nimesikia kuna watu wa Baringo, or say a Katila. So imagine that she's a trader. Right now they're not here, right? They are either selling their fruits or they are at an M-Pesa shop. What are their immediate needs? Their immediate needs are food, right? Shelter, and school fees. This person is not even thinking about retirement, to be honest. But imagine this same person 20 years from now. This person will not be able to go to the market early in the morning, right? Atalala, amechoka, mwili imechoka, sindio? But this person needed to know that they can save for retirement. Sindio? And that's why equity is here. Because if this person knew that with 50 shillings daily, just 50 shillings, let's not think about a big figure. If I put 50 shillings daily, in a month I'll have how much? 1,000, sindio? Now 50 shillings, if you've ever been to the market for mama, usually see kuna mtu wa chai atapita, sindio, wa uji, wa mayai. Like if you go to the market, these guys are always eating something. Yet, if they were able, smocha, yes. Yet, if they were able to be told, iyo pesa ungeeka aside, 20 years from now, you'll not be coming to the market. You will need money to sustain you. Sindio? So today I want to have ambassadors and disciples from where we are. Let's remember uyo mama mboga unendanga kuona. Make it your duty to talk about retirement. Sindio? It may not be Aki, it may not be Equity talking about it, but wewe mwenyewe from your own experience, you can be able to convert that mama mboga in your village. Sindio? So have I created disciples, ambassadors? Tukirudi nyumbani si tutaongelesha watu. So to start us off, mitambo, is it working? Okay, it's not working. So why should we care about retirement? Let me show you some sad statistics that we keep seeing in the papers, but we are not doing anything about. So, this thing, man. Sorry.
Just give us a second, she'll...
Yeah. Thank you so much. So, it's not working. Okay. I go back, okay. Sorry guys, just give me a minute. Okay. This thing, man. Okay, there's something off with your thing. Please go. Sorry. So I wanted to introduce Equity Group. So we all know Equity Group from the bank. We transformed lives whereby we were putting money under our mattresses. We went and told you, you don't need a deposit. Sindio, I'm sure everyone here, somehow, you've had an equity account. So equity is not just a bank. The main aim of equity is to transform lives. So we did it with banking. So we have the foundation. From the foundation, we know about Equity Leadership Program. We know Wings to Fly, whereby we go to the villages. We take our children who have excelled in school, but they cannot be able to go to university or high school. Then in the health sector, I liked that question about tunafukuza wazee. At Equity, hatufukuzi wazee. We have a health insurance product where it doesn't limit your age. Whatever age you are, walk into an Equity bank branch, you will get a quotation, and we will cover you as long as you're alive. I think Pauline talked about it's expensive, but at Equity what we do is that I look at Maureen separate from Simon. Maureen may be very healthy. Simon may have blood pressure or diabetes. So whatever Maureen pays is not the same thing that Simon will pay. But we will not chase away Simon. What we will do is that we will walk with him the health journey to ensure that Simon gets healthier. It's not about the premium, but it's about your body. So I'll talk about Equity Group Insurance. Equity has insurance, its own insurance. Previously, you'd walk into the branch and you'd be able to distribute insurance from any other underwriter, which we still do. But from the experience of our customers, they came and told us, hey, nyinyi mnatuelewa, nipatie product yenye ni yenyu. That's why you hear me talking about, we will not chase you away when you're old. Sawa sawa. Si tumeelewa, kuna bank na kuna insurance. So moving on. Someone listening. Oh. So why should you care about retirement? I talked about statistics. Kila siku ziko magazetini. What are we doing about it? I mean, they're saying people are working past age of 65. Personally, I want to retire at age 50. Niende, nisafiri, niangalie my grandchildren. I want to enjoy my retirement. I do not want to work. Then number 2, old age poverty. I mean, low pension savings. So, I think someone asked, what is the industry doing about it? We know about these statistics, but what are we doing about it? So, of course, I'm employed by Equity, so I'll say what Equity is doing about it. The first thing we've done is that tumepeleka pension mashinani. Equity has over 250 branches. Right now, walk into the branch in Eldamaravine, Nyeri, Murarandia, Kisumu, ask, I want to save for retirement. You will be able to do it. Sawa sawa. So that's what we are doing. Tunapeleka pension mashinani. Other than that, we all know the beautiful story of Equity. Who built us? It's not the corporates. It's the individuals, watu wako kwa ground. It's the SMEs. So you'll find a trader. Let me talk about my client who's in Gikomba. This person tells me, I can save 50 shillings a day. Will you allow me? I'm like, yes, we have the system, we have the processes. So you'll find that this guy, at the end of the month, he has 2,500 shillings. He puts money consistently. Akipata anaeka. This guy is better off than anyone here, our Gen Zs, our 18-year-olds who are not saving. So my ambassadors, today we have children in the house. Please walk into an Equity branch, open a plan for them so that they can save. Sawa sawa. Then myths, I think Pauline talked about it. Time. I think as Africans, we do not respect time. Yet it's the greatest resource. Ukienda kwa wazungu, wameelewa what time is. I think we need to preach. The more time you have, imagine if you started at age 20, and my colleague will show you the statistics. How much money will you have accumulated? So whatever age you are, please put some money aside. Number 2 is retirement iko mbali. I started working at age 22. Saizi hata siwezi sema. But I used to see old people, na nashindwa, nitaifika huko. Right now my nieces are calling me mzee. Hey, that's the toughest thing ever. Naitwa mzee. So you're looking at them. I'm still working. I mean, I'm at a very young age. Then the other thing is your future self will, Pauline talked about this. Your future self will thank you. Zile sacrifices unafanya sahizi zitakusimamia ukiwa mbele, si ndio? Then planning for retirement doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice fun right now. It just means you need to choose how you spend your time. I think the biggest thing we need to ask ourselves, when I retire, what will I be doing? You're used to an 8 to 5, unaendanga kazini. When you retire, you'll have so much time. My dad, he became a pastor. So that's what he does in his retirement time. My mom, she started a school because I used to have conversations with them. So what will you be doing? Those are the things we need to think about. Then number 2, I had said, me nikitretire, I want to travel, I want to look after my grandchildren. For me to have that in the future, I need to do something right now. So we start planning today, and we've said we will convert our families and our children. Sindio? Aya. These are very interesting statistics, which were taken by the Retirement Benefits Authority in the recent past. Just look at this. 50% of this room, 50, will be dependent on relatives. relatives ni yao Gen Z tunaongea juu yao. And those kids, mine are Gen Alphas. Right now they ask me, Mama, kwani una pesa? They really don't understand why you don't have money. So these are the ones we say we will depend on. Then look at the ones who depend on pension because they came, they listened to Maureen talking, to Pauline, to everyone here, wakaanza kusave. Only 16% of this room. Then the ones who are financially independent, I think Mzee talked about property, stocks, bonds. I mean, only 6%. And the rest of us, tutakuwa tunafanya nini? We go back to work. I mean, you go become a driver, you go do something because haukujipanga. So the message today, we do not want to be part of the 47, the 31. We want to be part of the 6 and the 16. And we are going to make our relatives and our families part of the 6 and 16. So that when RBA prints this in the next maybe 5 years, this will have changed. Sawa sawa. Then I'd like to invite my colleague. I hope I have set the base on why we need to save for retirement. Sindio? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Maureen. Tumpigie makofi ya kilo mbili, tafadhali. Thank you very much, Maureen. Karibu sana, Simon.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Maureen, for setting the pace. And I want to first appreciate Pauline because she set the pace for us. Most of the slides that she has displayed here or talked about are actually what we wanted to talk about today. So I might skip a few. But before I start, because I really want to reiterate what she said, I would want to ask a very simple question. And a very simple question. So I don't expect you to fail. And I want to maybe ask my brother over there. Between a cat and a dog, which one barks louder? Somebody give him the mic.
Ni nani? This one.
My brother, the first one.
Between
a cat and a dog, which one barks louder?
A dog.
A dog. So how many are for a dog?
Ni wangapi wa dog?
You see, I even don't want to ask the other question because you have all failed. Because the answer is, a cat does not bark. Right?
Yes.
And that is the mistake that we make most of the time. I think I've heard so many times people asking about, I have a passive income, I have this investment. Why are you telling me to invest in a pension scheme? And the truth of the matter is, or the reality on the ground is, we have investments for different purposes. And I don't want you to forget about it, right? So when we talk about pensions, we are talking about your future life. Right now, you are active, you have energy, you can brag about having a working experience, right? But remember, the point you leave your office, you leave your laptop and your computer there and you go home, you have no time to tell people that I'm building my working experience, right? Right? So you are saving right now so that you can use whatever you are saving today for tomorrow. Are we together? So Maureen talked about things that we are doing differently at Equity, and we have very good opportunities to go to Mashinani. We've really gone to Mashinani. And in Mashinani, that's exactly where real things are. So recently, I went to Mashinani and I met a beneficiary of Inua Jamii, an old man, a beneficiary of Inua Jamii. And, you know, I've kept asking myself, where are these people coming from? Like, why would the government be bothered to take care of these old people? And when I was talking to this guy, he told me he worked for the government, actually. He was a civil servant. Things happened. He retired. He didn't have a good pension plan. He got his NSSF money, which was less than 200,000. And you know, if you're in town, if you're in an urban area, you are given 200,000, and you are not living in the village by then, by the way. Especially civil servants. Some of them have houses within the compound or the places they are working in. And then at the end of it all, when you are 60, you are given a check of less than 200,000. So he told me he went back to the village and things happened. Okay? So, and I actually started thinking about it deeply because it's important to think about it. And I asked myself, might we be headed in the direction of the Western world, where the old people are living in old aged homes or homes for the elderly? And even with that, within the same area, I met a government official from the Ministry of Health, a young lady who was moving around these villages, looking after these old people. Actually, I was very shocked to learn that they are there. So what they are doing is, they move around just to check those who have chronic diseases, and they help them check on their blood pressure, diabetes, and then they take those measurements, and then if a case is severe, they refer them to hospitals. So, and I thought to myself, maybe in future or in a few years to come, the government and even the charitable organization maybe start thinking about building these homes so that they can centralize the services. I mean, it's quite worrying. And if they do, then we are the people who are going to live in those homes. It's not actually the people I'm talking about. They will be building homes for us because we are not prepared for retirement, right? And then I thought of another thing, the last one before I move on. Might my generation be the last one to support the parents? Might it be? It might be, right? Arguably, we can say that. And I want us to start from here. Now, my great-grandfather had like 3 wives. And with the 3 wives, each wife had about 10 children, right? So when he aged, most of them would come together and start taking care of their father. We move to the next generation. My grandfather, he reduced the wives. He had 2. And then he reduced the number of children. He had about 8, right? So that has reduced again. When I look at my dad, he had only 1 wife. And the number of children, even when you look at the average age of my age mates in their families, maybe they're about 5, 6. Right? So we are reducing. So what happens about me? What happens next? What about me? The maximum number of children I want to have is 2. And if I'm well-to-do, if I have money, I'm going to take them abroad for further studies. Right? So what happens? Do you think they are going to come back? Chances are they are not going to come back. So what will happen to me if I haven't planned? So somebody who is thinking of starting an elderly home is going to take me there. Right? So sorry for scaring you, but so I just want us to proceed. So Pauline talked about this. We have different platforms or opportunities within the industry on where we can save for our retirement, right? So the first one is a state pension. And a state pension is provided through the NSSF, National Social Security Fund. Now, in this fund, it is mandatory for every employer to contribute for their employees and to deduct money and remit there. Are we together? Then we have the other one that she talked about, occupational schemes. An occupation is another word for employment or a gainful thing that you are doing. So these ones are for employers who have set up pension funds for their employees specifically. So if you leave employment, unajipanga huko nje. If you are not employed there, you don't save there, right? And most civil servants were there. Those who act in the parastatals were there. Then we have the other one, umbrella funds. These are for SMEs. So if you have a business out there and you have 5 employees, 3 employees, 10 employees, then you can join an existing fund so that you can share in the costs. Are we together? So it becomes easy to manage. And then the last one here is an individual or a personal pension plan. And there are 2 actually. Okay, pension plans that are individualized are 2. The first one is a personal pension plan. That is very open. As long as you are 18 years and above, you can join this. And as at Equity, we don't have any age limit. So you can join at 18 or even at 90, as long as you have a goal you want to achieve. The other one is called an IDD. An IDD is a fund, a pension fund for retirees, specifically. There, you don't join as a group. You retire, you bring your money, we invest it for you, but we give you like on monthly basis, just to replace your income. So at the end of the month, we pay you, but we invest the balance. Are we together? So today, we are not talking about In this session, we are not talking about all others. We are talking about this one, the personal pension plan. So what is it? A personal pension plan, as stated there, is a private savings pension plan designed to help individuals save for retirement. Okay? So unlike the formal pension schemes that have employers, this one you decide on yourself in terms of the amount of money you want to save, when you want to save. Are we together? So it's very flexible. Today you can start with 1,000, tomorrow you increase it. The other month, if you don't get anything, you are not obligated to save. Are we together? So you are going to invest whatever you have saved at any given time. So what are the features of a personal pension plan? Some other companies call them PPP, personal pension plan, others individual pension plan, but they mean the same. Sorry. Kuna maneno hii. Please help me go back to the slide that I was in. Yes, this one. Thank you. So I don't want to repeat what Pauline said about the tax benefits that you enjoy when you join a personal pension plan, but there are two different ways of enjoying tax. If you join as an individual and you are out there doing business, you don't pay any tax because we assume that whatever you are contributing, the source has already been taxed, right? So if you are doing business, we assume that before you got that money, it's already net because you paid tax. If you are employed, then the best opportunity you have there is to have the contributions come through the payroll because you are going to enjoy the tax benefits that Pauline talked about. The other thing about personal pension plans is the interest is accrued on compound interest basis, meaning you are going to contribute today. The income that you earn today is going to earn an income tomorrow. So there is going to be an interest on interest. And because of that effect, the contributions your contributions tend to grow faster. Please go back. I think I have to stop using this one. Again, it is very flexible, as we said. Then another thing that I really want to emphasize is pension benefits are not assignable to third parties. And I want you to get this clear. So when you open a personal pension plan, or even if you are a member of a pension scheme somewhere, we say pension benefits are not assignable to third parties. What is the meaning of that? Suppose you are working and then something happens at work. Then after investigation, it is found out that you stole a laptop at work. So the employer decides, because you are going and we don't have anything to hold, we are going to hold your pension so that we can recover the laptop. That is not possible in a pension scheme. So if you are in a place of employment, you have a circle, you have left, you had not paid, the people that you had guaranteed or they had guaranteed you, your employer cannot withhold your retirement benefits. Are we together? Even when you come to claim your benefits, and then you tell us to pay to your dear wife, your loved wife or husband, we are not going to pay. Okay? We are going to pay to you, and then you are going to decide what to do with your money, because that is the law based on the requirements of the Retirement Benefits Authority. The other one is, we say it does not form part of the estate. You have other things that you are doing. You have those apartments, you have a piece of land somewhere. Now, in a pension scheme, you are going to do something we call nomination of beneficiaries when you join. So the people that you are going to list there are people that are going to receive your benefits in case you are not there. So there are structures within pension schemes, and you are going to see on who decides on where these benefits go. However, it's important for you to know that whoever distributes the death benefits distributes them in the best interest of the member. So they do it in a way that you'd have wanted to do it if you are alive. Are we together? Move to the next slide. So this is a structure that we have in every pension scheme. Okay? So a scheme is a separate entity from the founder. And the founder is, for example, Equity Life Assurance has a number of pension schemes. So those pension schemes are very different from Equity Life because we start them for the benefit of the public. Are we together? For example, our IPP, our personal pension plan, we start so that we can create a platform for people to save. So when the money is there, that money does not belong to the company. Neither does it belong to the contributor. For example, if it is an umbrella fund, okay, that money does not belong to the employer, your employer. It belongs to you. Are we together? So they assign a group of people or an entity called trustees. The trustees are the legal owners of that scheme. So they make decisions on behalf of the members. You cannot be able to make this investment decision, so they make that decision for you. And then we have the members. Pauline talked about the regulators, okay? And you are going to see which regulator regulates who. Then we have the service providers down there. The first one is called an administrator. An administrator is a records keeper. So when you contribute at the end of the month, they receive your contributions and then they post it in their systems. When you want to retire, they are going to calculate benefits for you. Their work purely is paperwork. Sawa sawa. Then we have a fund manager. A fund manager is the one who receives money and makes sure it is invested. The custodian, yesterday we had a custodian here. Their work is to receive money to carry out the transactions on daily basis. And then if all the services are done by one entity, if all the 3 services are done by one entity, and mostly this is done by insurance companies, that is called an approved issuer. Are we together? An approved issuer or an insurance company. Then the other service providers that are appointed from time to time, we have an actuary, we will have a legal expert, and then we are going to have auditors. Let us move on. So I want to dwell much in this because I want you to know why equity has a different product or what does it have for us. So our individual pension plan is structured in an interesting way because we want to accommodate everyone. So we have a sub-fund that allows you to do regular contributions. So you are out there, you want to do contributions, so you open an account. We are going to facilitate that. You open an account and then you start contributing as and when you get money. The other one is transfers. If you worked in another scheme somewhere, and then maybe you moved jobs or you stopped working, we can help you consolidate. You consolidate your pension and then you are able to manage it from one source. Then we have something we call pension sponsorship. This is not in any other fund out there. It is a fund that helps you open an account for someone you love. For example, you have a nanny at home. She has served you very well for many years. So you decide, I can't let them go just like that. So I'm going to open an account for them and then I sponsor them. I'll be contributing for them. Another good example is you have a child. And I've seen this with people. Your child turns 18, you have good money, you are loaded, you buy for them a Mercedes-Benz, or you throw a big party, right? That is happening out there. Now, we are creating a platform for you. You can actually do the reverse. Instead of giving them that money, you can open a personal pension plan for them, and then you inculcate the savings culture so that when they start earning, they will just continue running on their own. Are we together? So it's a very good platform. And then we have the other one. This is a post-retirement medical fund. And I think most retirees here have talked about it. So one of the things that you really have to care about when you are retiring is how you are going to meet your medical expenses. So here, we have created a platform for you to save specifically for medical care in retirement. Unaleta pesa kidogo, maybe this month you contribute 1,000, the other month 2,000. But at the end of it all, when you are retiring, we are going to use that money to buy for you medical covers. And what we are doing at Equity is, we have a clinic called Equity Afya. Okay? I know you know about it. So we would want to partner, or we are working on something to partner with them so that they can provide affordable medical care in retirement. Okay? So that you are able to manage your medical expenses at that given time. Let's move. So who can join? Who can join the IPP? Number one, you have to be 18 years and above. You have to be, you are not a minor in short. You have to have an ID. So we are targeting the formal employment. If you are employed somewhere, even if your employer is doing NSSF contributions or they have a staff pension scheme, we have created this one for you so that you can do it on the side. Okay? Just to supplement whatever you are saving. We also do organized groups. Now, yesterday, I think it is somebody from the Retirement Benefits Authority who talked about chamas. And mostly ladies are in these chamas, the merry-go-rounds. So, and I would want to ask, is a merry-go-round an investment? Is it an investment? A merry-go-round, is it an investment?
Kuna jibu hapa.
Wacha tusikie. Tuambie tu.
No.
No, are you in one?
No.
So, fine, it is okay. A merry-go-round is not an investment, and what people do, they actually do this so that they can, they are trying to create a pool where they can get a lump sum, right? You have 1,000, you are 10 of you, and you want 10,000 at the end, so you come together. But let me shock you, especially the last person, the last few people who get money in a merry-go-round don't actually benefit anything because of what we call time value of money, right? So if you are 10, or say 12, for the purposes of this, if you are 12 and you are contributing 5,000 a month, that means the first person is going to get money in January, the other one in December, right? So you contribute your money, you give to the first person. So for you, you are going to get your money in December, right? So it might be very surprising that the thing you would have bought with that money in January, you are not going to afford it in December, right? So because of this, we have created this for these chamas. So if you have a chama, don't break it. Don't break it because it is not an investment. Come to us. We are going to create an account for you. You contribute. At the end of the year when we credit interest, then you can split equally. And it becomes an investment. Are we together? Then we have the self-employed. These are people in business. I know this has really affected business people because all they think is working capital. You get an income, you plow back. You get an income, you plow back. At the end of it all, you had money, but when you are retiring, you have nothing to show. Okay? So it's a very good opportunity. We have corporates and SMEs. If you want your employees to save, you can come talk to them, and they will start saving. Then the sponsors that we talked about, and then the diaspora community. I mean, each one in this room knows somebody who is working in diaspora. Either your relatives or friends, right? And which is that worry that they have most of the time? It is security and trust. I know we have had stories out there. Mtu anakutumia pesa, anakuambia anataka kujenga nyumba, and then what do you do? Unamwambia yes, tunajenga nyumba. Unaenda kwa neighbor, unachukua clip. Wakijenga nyumba. And every stage unamtumia, right? After 3 years, when they want to come back and celebrate the housewarming and all that, they get into the compound and they find nothing. The money was squandered. And when you look at these people, they have tried so many things in the country. They said money, it flops. They said money, it's stolen. So we have created this for them so that when they save, they said the money they can be able to save. Pauline talks about the diaspora remittance. And for the records, by end of last year, 2024, the diaspora remittances amounted to about 670 billion. 670 billion were sent into the country from abroad. And shock on you, because this money must come through a bank. It is transacted through a bank. It is only less than 10% that is retained in these banks. So where does it go? People invest where? We don't know. Right? But they still complain. So this is a very good opportunity for your brothers out there. You can refer them to us, and then you'll be able to support them. Okay, next. Good. We have a very simple onboarding process. So you just need to pass by our booth there, or if you are not here, if you are going to watch these online, maybe in YouTube, you just walk to any Equity branch. Equity has been able to train so many officers which are within one of our entities called Equity Bank Assurance. So when you go there, you are going to be supported. A very simple process. You just fill a form. You give what we call KICC, a copy of your ID, KRA PIN, and then we onboard you. We give the account number where you are going to contribute. After that, we are going to onboard you into our superior system and then give you login credentials so that you can be able to track how you are contributing and how you are saving. Again, even within the portal, we'll be able to put very interactive modules where you can be able to put a projection. Like, I want to have this amount of money by the age of 60, so how much amount of money do I need to save? maybe today. Let's move on. So allow me skip this one because Pauline elaborated on this. Okay, very good. If you are saving in a pension plan, you have a very good opportunity to save on tax. Good. These are the benefits that you are going to enjoy when you come to us. We have operated in the last 3 years. From year 2022, we declared 8.5% net returns, meaning there are no other expenses that are going to be deducted from that. Then 2023, 10.5%, and 2024, 12.5%. And then we are going to process the benefits within less than 2 weeks. You give the paper on Monday, within the next week you have your money. Then we have an online portal, and you are going to be supported at any equity branch. We have about 260 and thereabout. So how do you access your money, your benefits? There are different ways in which you are going to access your benefits based on the structure of a pension scheme. But I want to take you through a story of a man here. And I'm happy because this forum has been organized by the Nation Media Group. And this story was in a Daily Nation in actually 2 years. The first one, they highlighted the story in year 2022. And the next one, this one is in year 2023. Okay? And it is the story of Mr. Ikonya. And Mr. Ikonya is just like any other man here or a lady out here. And it is about you accessing your money in lump sum. So this is a story of Ikonya that only took him 1 week, 6 days actually. And I want to move with you. So on Thursday, November 10, he sold an asset. I think it is a piece of land, and he was given 700,000. Okay? So he took the money and went to a local pub. So within the local pub, the first thing he did was, akasema chafua meza. Okay? So he got a few beers, and it costed him 63.20. 6,320 shillings. So you can continue actually deducting from the 700,000. Then, there came a woman, a lady, a Jerry from within. So Jerry told, I have no problem with Jerry. It's an example. So a Jerry told the man, wacha tupange hii pesa yako. So Jerry kissed Mr. Ikonya. Okay? And then, Ikonya explains to Jerry that, I want to open a boiled meat business. Nataka nyama boilo. Maybe ni vichwa vya ng'ombe, mutura, and all that, right? So Jerry is happy and says, I can support you on that. I'm an expert. So the woman draws him, or Mr. Ikonya gives the woman 250. Okay, they draw a budget of 250 to start the business. So what the man did was, he withdrew about 350. Akaambia Jerry, you need an extra amount of money to take care of this process. Okay? So on Saturday, date 12, those are 2 days. He has 260 now because he has withdrawn 350,000. So the balance is now 260. So the woman says on day 4 that she has paid for the proposed business premise. Akasema nimepata nyumba na nimelipa. Okay? So what I need is an extra amount of money because we need a license anyway. Okay? We can't operate without a license. So mzee akarudi kwa bank, akatoa 100,000 shillings. Okay? So what is the balance? 50,000 shillings. So she looks for further 50,000 for emergency. On Monday, Mr. Ikonya decides to go to the ATM. Okay? To withdraw the chunk of money. Okay? Sasa ndio waanze biashara. Now, this is on Tuesday, November 5th. So, the woman has over, he goes to the bank, and the amount of money that he gets is 3,100. It's a story of actually 6 days. And this is a story with many retirees, my brothers and sisters. It is a story with many retirees. Some of us, or some of you, have never touched $1 million. You are given $1 million and it makes you crazy. In fact, it talks to you at night. You can't live in the house. It can't be in the bank and you're in the house. You don't sleep at night till you decide, I'm going to wake up and maybe drop to Mombasa and then have a little bit fun. The balance, I'll come and do 1, 2, 3 things. Isn't that the story with many people? Even people who farm tea and coffee. When they are given what we call bonus, what do? They go to urban centers and they meet a Jerry to help them plan, right? It is a story. So let me tell you, being given a lump sum when you're retiring may not be a solution for you. And somebody talks about opening businesses here, yesterday, that do not dare start a business with your retirement money, right? Don't do that, because something like this may end up happening. So let's move on. So what opportunities are there after retirement? You have accumulated money in a personal pension plan. You have good money. So what is there? Now, before we pay you when you are retiring, we like sitting with our retirees. We tell you we can give you some advisory services on how you can transition from the regular income that you head into retirement. So we sit with you. We can either help you get an income drawdown, where you are going to get monthly income, or an annuity that Pauline talked about, a regular income for life. Are we together? Let's move on. So in case of death, what happens? And people keep asking themselves, so I have saved money in a pension scheme. Nikienda before nichukue hiyo pesa, what is going to happen to me? And let us see what you are supposed to do, okay? So next, when you are moving, or when you are joining a personal pension plan or any other scheme there, we said you are going to nominate beneficiaries. When you are nominating beneficiaries, you are going to say, my spouse gets this, my children get this, but the total has to add up to 100, right? So that in case of anything, the trustees are going to use that piece of paper to know where you wanted your money to go. So why should you keep updating the nomination of beneficiaries? Because, for instance, you are 23, you get the first job. Who are you likely to nominate as a beneficiary if you get your first job?
Your mother.
Your mother, good. Or you have just gotten a job. So I don't think a son is there. A sister, right? Or a brother, right? Now, because you have gotten a job, the next thing you are going to do is, umejipanga hapa na pale, so you decide to get a spouse. After 9 months, you get a child, right? After another month, 9 months, another child. And maybe after another 9 months, you get another one. Okay? So you have 3 children in 2 years or 3 years. So something happens to you and you nominated your brothers and your parents. Then a trustee retrieves that form, and in the form it's indicated you are going to pay 50% to your mom, the other 50% to your brother. What do you think the trustees are going to do? Yes? What are they going to do? Yes, they are going to start a process now of interviewing the family members to find out whether you had done the last update. So it is very important for you to keep updating the nomination of beneficiaries. If you get a child, come change. Sawa sawa. If you get another one, change. If there is a divorce or anything, you can remove somebody and replace. In any case, there is no any reason why you can not replace. Mkikosana na mzee, unaweza mtoa. Jioni unaweza mrudisha. And you are going to go with the current updated form. Sawa sawa. Because that is your wish. The other thing is to reduce the time period in which you are going to pay the benefits. The other thing, to minimize the disputes. The other thing Pauline talked about, it is about the unclaimed financial assets. If your money is lying in a pension scheme and we are not able to trace you because you went, we don't have any traces of your beneficiaries, then what happens? After a number of years, we are obligated to set that money there. So if you ever trace them, then you go to get it. Sawa sawa. So I want to end this with a story. Okay? I want to end this with a story. And I know you are familiar with CBC education system, right? It's a very interesting one, a very good one. So in a CBC class, a teacher ended his class by clapping and told the children, it was a wonderful day. I want you to go home and draw a beautiful big elephant. So tomorrow you are going to bring the elephant and you are going to mark for you. So fine, it was a very exciting, as you know how students are, people are, especially in lower grades. They were very excited. They knew that they would go draw overnight and then come. So, but at the back of the class, there sat Johnny. Johnny was a little bit disappointed because he didn't know how to start drawing an elephant. So he was very disturbed. So as they dispersed, he went home. And he knew that he's going to wait for the dad and the mom to help him draw what? The big, beautiful elephant. So, fine, the dad came and the mom came. And as the story with many of us, you go home and then the child has an assignment and you look at it, you are wondering where you are going to start. You have no clue. So the father looked at it, they tried for... My time up. Oh, I switched off, sorry. Technology. So they looked at the drawing, they tried for about like 3 hours and they could not succeed. So all of them, they gave up and said, so Baba Johnny said, you are going to go to school without that elephant. I'm not going to allow my family be distressed because of an elephant. Just go. Just the other day, your teachers told you to go with a tray of eggs because he wanted you to know that a tray has 30 items. The other time, 12 forages. And you know the story with CBC. So he was very disappointed. And Johnny left. He went to sleep, and in the following morning, the teacher came. And you know the excitement to his children, some shouting, teacher, come mark my elephant. And some of them had drawn beautiful ones. Some of them were orange. Some others were yellow, blue. You know the children, right? Some of them looked like teapots. And there sat Johnny at the back, and he didn't know what to do. So what Johnny decided to do was, as the teacher was coming, he decided to draw a dot. Okay? And then he relaxed on his seat and said, let him come. So the teacher came. So when he got to Johnny, he looked at the book and he was very disappointed and asked, where is your elephant, Johnny? So Johnny looked at the teacher looked at Johnny, and they looked at each other. And Johnny knew it's going to go down. So again, the teacher asked, Johnny, I want to mark your elephant. So Johnny pointed at the dot and said, teacher, this is my elephant, but it is very, very, very far. So you cannot see it. So the teacher again was disappointed. By the time she was leaving, Johnny had drawn 2 other dots, bigger ones, and he told the teacher that the elephant has started coming. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you today. I don't know where you are in life, okay? But life has already presented you with an opportunity to go out there and draw an elephant for yourself, so that a teacher called retirement can come mark the elephant at the end of the day. But you are there, you have not started. Simply because there are so many things happening in your family, right? You had to support your parents never supported you, and many other things, right? There are very many competing needs within your payslip, and you have no idea of what you are going to do. Well, we are here to present to you an opportunity. You can walk at the booth, just come. We are going to discuss on where you can start. And there is no age. We said equity doesn't have any age limit. If you want to achieve a goal, can you come, and then we are going to discuss on where you are, and then we are going to create a platform for you that you can grow and build your retirement savings. And that marks the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you very much, Maureen. Tuwapigie makofi tena. I think it would be unfair for me to let you go without answering questions. Nani ameanza kuchora their elephant? Wacha tuanza na huyu. Simon, I think there's someone here you will help complete the drawing of the elephant. Your name and the question.
Thank you. My name is Patrick. I've been looking for the opportunity to ask this even from Pauline. I keep seeing the names, pension and provident fund and gratuity. What are the simple differences, and what are the rules of accessing the money? Even as we emphasize on saving, at the point of accessing is where the elephant comes in. We don't really understand, because we hear, like for the NSSF story and others, that your money disappears, or you take forever waiting to get the money, yet you don't have any other income. Then there is another question about the income drawdown and what was the other option? The annuity. We hear whether it is the truth or it is a misconception that if you get an annuity and your money outlives you, you know, you are told that you can outlive the money. But what about if by nature you die earlier before you finish your money? Does it just disappear with the insurance company, or does it go to your family? Those very key areas, kindly.
Thank you. I hope, Simon, you've noted that. I have another question here. Your name and the question.
My name is Davis Kajogu. I want Simon two questions. And the two questions also will be directed to the members to assist you. On the beneficiary, it is very key to nominate the right people, the beneficiaries. Like the scenario he gave, if I was a trustee, definitely I'll do more investigation. Sometimes we even use, because I've been a trustee, even investigators to go to the village because we're supposed to pay to the rightful member. And if, for example, she's 20, I'm nominated her, there's another child who is 5, who should be given more percentage. That's one question. Number two, the question is, I'll give a practical example because I'm also in the pension industry and I chair the Association of Certified Trustees of Kenya. I helped somebody sell a property at Komolok just the other day. Is it the other year? When you are the infrastructure bond going for 18.4. And also, sometime luck come with it. He was getting a rent of 28,000, that property. Now, luckily, and a friend who wanted a house. Do you know how much he sold that property for? 8.5. And we so lucky, when he put that property, the amount to the infrastructure bond, it was approved. So he invested 18.5 at 18.4. How much small mathematics? Yeah? Converting the 28,000 to 127,000 per month for 18 years. So if it was you, and he was 71. 71 years plus 18. How much is that? Now he has converted, 20,000, sold the property, bought an infrastructure board, which is, of course, it will be paid twice. But if you do the mathematics, he's now getting for the next 18 years, of course, owning all others constant, 127,000 per month. Which one will you go for? But when we say sell property, not when you have only one house. No. If I have 4, 3, you have to diversify. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question before I... ladies first. Just one moment. Let me give her an opportunity. She's not had an opportunity to talk. Your name, please. And swali lako. Simama tu.
Majina yangu ni Florence. Na kuna swali ninauliza. Kama vile ninavyoona mahali hapa, wengi ni Gen Z. Wako na opportunity na wako mahali pazuri pa kuanza kujipanga. Hallelujah. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Mimi swali yangu nauliza, mimi I'm already 60. Wengine hapa ni kama watoto wangu. Na mmesema amkatai wazee. Si ndio mmesema? See, that is what you said. Sasa nauliza, kama I'm already 60, already nimequalify kupata pension na sijaanza kusave. Sasa nikianza kusave sasa, how long will it take? Ama itatakia ifikie pesa ngapi? Ndio nianze kuipata.
Asante sana. Yeye alafu tuende huko.
My name is Margaret Gitau again. I would want to understand more on the individual pension scheme. Umeongelelea that when you have that scheme, you become, I don't know whether I understood it right. You can still have a medical scheme in it. Is that true? Yeah. what are the premiums for that? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Margaret. There was a question here. Allow me to just get to where you are. Your name, please, and the question. Shoot the question.
Thank you very much. I am Willie Sambo from Baringo. It is unfortunate that Coco there, or our grandmother, has asked the same question I wanted, but I will frame it this way. If now I go to Equity Bank, am I going to be welcome or registered to be a pensioner? 2, if I have the 30,000 shillings cash money and I wish to join the pension department, now I pay 30,000 at once. How long am I going to stay so that I get back my pension?
Good question. Final one. Then we. Oh.
I want to ask about medical cover in Equity Bank. Is it cover all my family? Na kwa hospitali ni which hospital ambaye na cover? The whole hospitals? Kama Nairobi Hospital, Aga Khan, what does da?
Asante sana. Kuna mwingine alikuwa na swali hapa. Tuulize swali hapa. Uliza tu swali.
Thank you. My name is Steven Sainya again. So just a few thinking points. So you've advised us we don't invest in rental income, we don't do money market funds. So my question is, where are you investing these funds as such schemes? Eh? So if you are doing like in the government bonds, what prevents me from investing there myself and then compound the interest and get the same benefits for pension for the same schemes you are providing for? Like the direct question is, why should I join up or partner up with the Equity Afia? Now, on post-retirement medical fund, we know the country, the situation we are in. There's a lot of competing needs for our salary, our payslip. So I'm assuming maybe the best I can do for the post-retirement medical fund is say 1,000 per month, which is 12,000 per year, 120,000 per 10 years, 240 in 20 years, say 480 in 40 years. So these premiums we pay after I retire, you give me the money, how much is that premium for a person who has invested in such a scheme? The question is, how sustainable is it? Because I'm assuming it's maybe 200,000 for an inpatient of 2 million or something. So within like 2 years or 3 years, this fund is over. So how sustainable is this program? So it brings me to the last question, which is, I think the government should think large. This aging population, what plans do they have for them? I think it's time we thought about maybe health cooperative societies to provide affordable products for such an age, because it's a big population, and we should be happy having the aged people in our midst for their wisdom. So what overriding plans do you have for this group? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Before I hand it to, I want to take it back to Simon and Maureen to, oh, there's a mic there. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Sam is my colleague.
Na swali hapo namba E au leta E. Kwa nini nyinyi wenyewe msihakikishe hizo pesa hazifiki pale?
Tafadhali weka microphone karibu na wewe ndio tusikie.
Kwa nini nyinyi wenyewe msihakikishe hizo pesa zinafika pale UFAA? Muende mukae na hao authorities, mufufue mbinu ambazo ni mwafaka, ili pesa zile ambazo hamna hakika kama zinaweza zikafika kwenyu na zipotee ziende pale, na wale wa pengine watachukua muda mrefu, na hizo pesa pengine hata zitakuwa zikutumika kwa njia ile inafaa, kwa sababu ziko mahali ambapo hazikuwa zinafaa zifike. Mzuie zisifike pale, ni kupoteza wakati, na wakati ni pesa.
Thank you very much. Simon, okay, the last one. I hope you're taking notes. Pauline also, I hope if there was a question directed to you, you caught their attention.
Yes, I want to put it this way. I am Professor Bishop Karesio, and I deal with a lot of young people in the community and in the churches. You as Equity, have you ever thought of the young generation who are coming up, and you take education to them, you train them? Because this boy who did not understand how to draw an elephant was never shown before he was told to draw. And that's the biggest problem we have in Kenya. Right now here, we don't have even 1/100 of Kenyan workers, especially in informal education. And then nobody is training these people. Here, I've got a list of SACCOs, about 800 to 900 SACCOs in the community. And if you go to each and every SACCO, hakuna mtu anajua ni nini na happen. Ya mwisho is the language. Many of these people wale wamekuja hapa ni wale waliona the Nation newspaper. And we are very happy about you people. Kama ningekuwa allowed tungempigia makofi nyinyi watu wa Nation. But tuache hiyo. What we want to know, are you ready to go to the villages? Are you ready to go to churches? Are you ready to go to even mosques? Muambie hawa akina mama, hii pesa inawekwa inafanya namna hii. Na ya mwisho, 80% of the Kenyan earners, those who earn money, they are not doing the government work. They are in informal form. Now, wale watu mumesuia, I mean, let me use this word. Wale watu sana who are trained here, hata ukiuliza hawa watu, over 70% are from the government sector. But yet, the producers of money in this country are not government workers. Can you do some training, please? Can you do some education, please? Can you move to us? Ask us, how can we reach these churches, this community? Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Tumpigie makofi. He's talked about public awareness. And Maureen and Simon, you can respond to that. So many people, you have very good products, and not you alone, even those people who are on those stands. But public needs to understand these particular products for even for them to buy in. I think it's for you to respond to those questions. Karibu.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I'll try to respond to a few, and my colleague is going to help me. Should we need Pauline to support as well? Because they cut across. So somebody has asked about the difference between a pension fund, a provident fund, and a gratuity. Okay? So a pension fund is a scheme where when you retire, you are given a third as cash lump sum, and then the 2/3 is converted into monthly pension, what we call annuity. In short, the 2/3 that you are not going to be given in cash is either going to buy you an annuity, or you put that money in an income drawdown where you are going to get money on monthly basis or as you choose. Is that clear? That is a pension fund. Because there are two types of schemes, a pension fund and a provident fund. So if it is not a pension fund, it is a provident fund, then what is a provident fund? A provident fund is where you get your money as a lump sum. You have 100 million you have saved over years, then we calculate all these benefits, tunakuwekea kwa account ujipange. Sawa sawa? But that does not mean that you can't take part of that money and put it in an annuity or an income drawn down. What you do is you have a choice. It is within your own volition to know where you are going to invest that money. Are we together? What is a gratuity? A gratuity normally is offered by employers that don't have pension schemes. Sawa sawa. So it is an arrangement to appreciate you as an employee. So what they do, they are different in terms of how they calculate these benefits. There are those that say, after every 3 years, we are going to give you a lump sum. After every 5 years, we are going to give you a lump sum. Unajipanga nayo. Sawa sawa. Just to appreciate the services that you have offered. But basically, all of them are supposed to support you in retirement. Are we together? Is that clear? So somebody asked about the difference between annuity and an income drawdown and said that he doesn't understand because there is one that you can outlive the benefits and there is something like that, right? So an annuity mostly is provided for by insurance companies. So what happens is, if you are saving in a pension scheme, you are going to take your money, give it to an insurance company, and they are going to exchange your money with a guarantee that they will pay you money until you exit this world. As long as you live, they will forever pay you. So if you are 50 and you live up to 100 years, it is their obligation to pay you. If you live up to 80 years, they will pay you up to 80 years. But Pauline talked about something here. So there are different types of annuities. So when you are selecting an annuity, then you are taken through a session to understand the structures of these annuities, because there is something we call a guaranteed period within an annuity. And this guaranteed period is supposed to help your beneficiaries mostly, so that in case you go early, like you save today, after a few months you are gone, that money does not go into waste after all that sweat. So what happens is, based on the guarantee period you choose, it is going to define how much can go to the beneficiaries in case you exit early. And I want to take an example. We have guaranteed periods for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years so far in the country. So for example, if you take 20 years guaranteed period, and then you pass on after 10 years, the balance of the next 10 years is going to be calculated, and it is going to be paid to your either spouse or the beneficiaries in the mode that they want. Wakitaka lump sum ama wakitaka kuwekwa kwa monthly payroll. Sawa sawa. Is that clear? Now, on the other hand, an income drawdown, it is not a product that has been there for very many years ago. It was developed by the Retirement Benefits Authority as a scheme. But this scheme is for retirees only. So if you are 49 and below, if you are 50 years and below, you can't join here. Sawa sawa. You have to retire. And you have to retire having saved money in a pension scheme. So what happens is, you are going to take your lump sum, you take it to that income drawdown, and then they are going to give you, again, an investment. They are going to invest your money as you draw down. And I want to use an example of a tank. If you have a tank at home, alafu imejaa maji. Sawa sawa. So every morning you are drawing water from that tank. Sawa sawa. So kukinyesha tena, maji inaongezeka wapi? Pale kwa tank. It works the same way. We have the funds, it is invested, you draw down kidogo kidogo. So whatever balance you have left is invested. Inaendelea kuwa invested as you draw down. So after 10 years, because an income drawdown runs for 10 years, after 10 years, we are going to give you back whatever will be left. As a lump sum, that is one. Or you choose to buy another income drawdown for another 10 years, or you choose to buy an annuity with a balance. Is that clear? So the IDD, income drawdown, and an annuity are alternative options that you have in retirement. So at any case, you don't lose money, okay? If it is an income drawdown, then that definitely is going to be paid to your beneficiaries in case of anything. There is no question about it. Sawa sawa. So my brother Kajogu talked about beneficiaries. He was a trustee. I've known him for very many years, and we have done this together. In a pension scheme, there are so many things that happen. An employee passes on. And when they pass on, they nominated their beneficiaries when they are 25, when they first got employed. They are actually 40. They forgot about it. Something happens. By the time they are passing on, they even have a second wife. The first one has children who have graduated. They are not at home. The other wife has young children. So as trustees, we say they have a fiduciary duty to look at the situation of that member and do thorough investigation on the rightful beneficiaries of this money. Sawa sawa. And in the example that I used, suppose you nominated your brother and maybe he's just a drunkard out there. Alafu uko na watoto wadogo, alafu trustee achukue hiyo form, apatie huyo brother, and you have left your young children 3 months old. Is that fair? Then in the trustees' decision of how to distribute, they also look at the ages of the children. So if you have a graduate who has completed university and you have a 5-month kid, who do you think should receive more money? Yes, the kid. So they are going to work on something. They do a lot of calculations and a lot of considerations. But one thing I want to emphasize is the trustees act in the best interest of a member. Sawa sawa. If you are there, ugefanya nini kama ugekuwa hapo. So, Maureen, do you want to take this other question about saving, the one that was asked by Florence? How long are you going to save if you are 60 and you are saying that you can save?
Before I take that question, I think he had asked about, or he had commented about the friend who put money in an infrastructure bond, and it seemed like a very wise decision at that point in time because the interest rates were 18%. So what pensions do? Pensions give you stability. Pensions are not dramatic. 1 year it's 18, another year is 10%. Because right now, if I ask you what are the interest rates, they're not as high as 18%. So interest rates change, and he was lucky that he invested when the money was at 18%. However, some of us may not be very lucky when we go to do an infrastructure bond at the moment. It's not going to give me the 18%. So one thing about retirement, it has many stools. There's a pension bit, which we have been talking about all this time that we are here. There are things like housing, that's part of retirement. There are other stools. So as an individual, I think one of the exercises we had said, today where you are, look at yourself. How much money do you need to get at age 50? Then start planning. If it's the property, that's one stool. If it's money market, that's another stool. But the most important stool is the pension fund. Let's not forget that. You had many years to invest your money. I mean, you've been earning money since age 25. Sasa ukifika 50 ndo unaanza kufikiria maneno ya money market. That's what I usually ask Kenyans. You had 100% of your money. We were only taking 5%. What were you doing with the 95? Your 95 ndo ungeenda ununue bond, go invest in land, do all the other things. But do not reduce the 5 or the 10%. So Florence asked, she's already 60. How long will it take before they start earning? That's why we talked about the individual pension plans. We do not limit the age. Age 60, tembea kwetu, tuangalie, Florence anataka pesa ngapi after 5 years. So tukimodel, tutaona maybe Florence, I want 1 million in the next 5 years. So if I want 1 million in the next 5 years, how much do I need to put in right now? Sawa sawa, Florence. So we will model it like that. The guys who are younger, utaona maybe they need to put in like 500, 1,000. Guys who are 40, you need to put in more, depending on how much you want. 1 million may be good for you, mwingine anataka 5 million. So depending on your situation, we will advise you. It starts earning money immediately. Ukitupatia 1,000 bob leo, inaanza ku earn interest kwa sababu hatukai nazo as cash. We have to invest. So it starts earning interest immediately, and then it will grow. Then Margaret asked, medical scheme, is there a medical scheme in the individual plan? Yes, what we are calling about post-retirement medical fund. So how it works at Equity, I'll tie that to the question when someone asked that, siyo pesa itaisha, kwa sababu unalipa premiums kila mwaka. So at Equity, what we have done is that we realize that this product has become very expensive for people because at age 60, whatever you pay as premiums is very high. So at Equity, Simon talked about our Equity affairs. So I work in as Maureen, I say, in the next 10, 15 years, I will be retiring. I'm enjoying a medical cover with my employer. Saizo sitakuwa na medical cover. So what we do, number one, we first do a wellness check on you. It's very important. Wababa we, you don't like going to get checked up at hospitals. Sijui kwa nini. But then that's the struggle we are having to tell wazes, enda ujue hali yako, whatever it is, we deal with it. However, for equity, so we look at your wellness journey, we say, okay, Maureen is healthy, blah, blah, blah. In the next 5 years, her premium is going to look like this. So we will tell you, this is how much you need to put in the post-retirement medical fund. And then we will tie it to our medical partner, which is Equity Afya. If you walk into, the biggest problem with post-retirement medical fund is that at that point in time, utaambiwa, enda utafute hospitali, yenye utakuwa unaenda. Sawa sawa. So it becomes very expensive kienda Aga Khan nini. But since umekuwa na equity, na umekuwa ukisave for post-retirement, it's assured. We have already told our partner Equity Afya that this person is retiring in the next 10, 15 years. This is how much they're saving, so you need to model their premiums. The good thing about Equity Afya, right now we pay 500 shillings. I mean, 500 shillings is very affordable. So the beauty about the Equity Post-Retirement Medical Fund is that we have a health partner already. And that's the game changer, because I don't think any insurance company owns a hospital or a medical provider, a life insurance company. So that works for us, because tunakujua hali yako, tunajua we've been checking you wellness journey, kila mwaka tunatembea na wewe. Tunajua kama utapata magonjwa, we already know. So that works in our benefit. So pesa yako haitaisha. Because the other thing is that we are investing this money. We're investing it in a guaranteed fund, whereby we are guaranteeing atakuwa post-election, anything, at the very minimum, we'll give you 4.5%. So your money is growing. It's not disappearing. So we already know who you are. We have modeled your health. Then, so Sambu asked, will he be welcomed or he will be chased? Equity, we don't chase anyone. Wewe ni customer wetu. Remember I talked about the fact that nani alijenga Equity? Individuals, not corporates, not anyone. So at Equity, you will not be chased. And if someone chases you, refer them to Maureen. Sawa sawa. Ataniambia kwa nini anafukuza customer. So you asked again, who does it cover? Family. Yes. Our medical cover covers you, your spouse, and we do not limit the number of children. Sawa sawa. We do not tell you that maximum of 4 children. No. Wherever your children are, we cover them. Then in terms of the medical panel, we are giving you the choice of who you want to go to. We have 3 levels of panels. So mimi nitasema mimi nimetoka Bungoma, hospitali zenye ziko huku ni XYZ. I do not see, there's no Aga Khan, there's no Nairobi hospital. Do not charge my premium based on the Aga Khans and the Nairobi hospitals. Hospitali zenye niko nazo hapa ni level 1. So you'll be given the choice. We have the level 1 hospitals, that's the mission hospitals, the normal hospitals. Then we have the tier 2 hospitals. You can also choose. Those are the Nairobi West, you know, the tier 2 hospitals. They are not called hospital hotels. You know hospital hotel. So tier 2, Nairobi West Hospital. The normal hospitals, mnajua Mata, hizo. You make the choice. Then number 3, wenye tumezoea kwenda Nairobi Hospital, hata kama utapewa the same drugs, lakini utalalishwa kwa room, mtu anakuja kukuangalia. I mean, si kila mtu ako na choice. I want to be treated like VIP. Then we'll also give you that choice. So the beauty about our health products, we give the customer the choice to choose which panel of hospital is good enough for you. Sawa sawa. Aya. So someone asked, what stops him from directly investing in bonds? Nothing stops you from directly investing in bonds. But there's something called bidding. Okay, when you go buy a bond, you're told, what price do you want to pay? You choose. I mean, there's the one that's average, pali kila mtu atasema tunataka kulipa hiyo, that's the average price. Then there are people who say, mimi naelewa history ya bonds, mimi nataka kulipa hii. Majority of the Kenyans do not understand the pricing of bonds. So when you go by yourself, you will pay the average price where everyone is paying. There are others who will get a discount. So the reason why we are encouraging you to go through Equity or your provider is that you will unlock discounts. What do I mean by discounts? You may have 100,000 shillings. That's what you want to invest in the bond. If you go through a provider mwenye ame collect pesa mingi, let me talk about Equity. Maybe we've collected 1 billion, yeah? From our investors, the bank, its own money. When you go to CBK, tutawambia hii 1 billion, we will negotiate. We'll tell them tuko na 1 billion, na tuta negotiate. We will tell them this is a price we want to pay. You with the 50,000, which is not small money. When you go, they look at 1 billion, 50,000. The person who will be given the best price is the one with the 1 billion, not the 50,000. So going through a fund manager, your provider or Equity, you will unlock discounts. So with the 100,000, instead of paying maybe 101 or 100,000, if you bid at par, you'll be paying 95,000. Meaning, you're earning interest on the 100,000, but tumepatia serikali 95,000. Sawa sawa. So that's the beauty of going through a partner who has more money. They have more muscle to negotiate what you will pay. Then I talked about how sustainable is a PRMF fund, so I won't go into that. So how do we ensure funds do not reach UFA? So we talked about trustees. Their role is very, very important. And someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but pension funds, they only go to UFA, number one, if you're dead, and we have tried to look for your beneficiaries. The trustees have to show they have done all they could to get beneficiaries na hawakuwapata. What's the time period we are given? Is it 2 years? Yes. Within 2 years, we need to show that tumekutafuta, hatujakupata. Number one. Number two, if you're dead, that's the first case, and the money will go to UFA. We have done all that we could, hatupati beneficiaries. So number two, in case you've reached retirement age is 60 or 65, we also have to show, tumepata hizi pesa, mtu amefika retirement age, na hatumpati. It's in very rare cases that I've seen money being given to UFA, especially in pensions. I don't think for all the companies I've worked for, I've ever seen any money going to UFA. Because as Simon said, education on kila wakati tunakuja, nominate your beneficiaries. Nominate your beneficiaries. So we know who your beneficiaries are. If you are employed somewhere, we'll go to your employer. We will go to the village. So a lot is done before money goes to UFA. I know life funds, like the individual life policies, that's where I've seen a lot of money going to UFA. But for pension funds, very rare that hatujui beneficiaries wako ni nani. And then, Professor Bishop, thank you for your comment. So you've asked what we do at Equity. At Equity, I told you Equity has many legs. So one of the legs is called Equity Foundation. Within Equity Foundation, we offer financial literacy classes for equity account holders. You'll find that at each branch, there's someone we call the Mwalimu. So the Mwalimu's job is they have to visit the group every week, and they do a report that we visited the group, these are the needs, and what we have seen, this is what we are educating. Other than that, during customer service week, Equity decided to go back to Mashinani. We went to the markets. So we realized that, okay, for lack of a better word, Equity had become big, and we forgot to go to the markets, to the traders. So during that whole week, we were going to educate the traders at the market. So from your comment, I think it's very important for us not just to focus on the equity account holders. We need to spread the wing and look at other Kenyans, as you have said. There are people in the villages, there are people in the mosques who have no idea. So thank you very much for that comment. We will take it back to our strategy team, and we will show the opportunity, because once we educate you, then you'll be able to buy a pension plan, you'll be able to open an account, and you'll be able to do things. And to go back, I want to mention that a gratuity is non-contributory, meaning a gratuity is at the employer's level. So if they say, I'll pay you after 5 years, you do not need to contribute anything. They look at your salary level. I mean, if you work for 5 years, they pay you a lump sum. For pension or provident, you have to contribute something. We have some NGOs where they say, okay, I'll do everything. I don't need the employee to contribute. But for pension or provident, lazima utoe pesa kwa mfuko, ikuwe contributory, then it makes your lump sum. For gratuity, that's up to the employer to decide how much they're going to give you. And most companies are phasing out gratuities because it becomes very expensive as an employer to hold 20 million that I know I need to pay in 5 years. Your pesa itatoka wapi? So most of them are converting them into pension schemes. Thank you very much. Pauline, you had a question? You're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maureen and Simon. Tuwapige makofi tena. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. This has been an eye-opening. You have a question? Sorry?
Simon.
You have a question to Simon? Tumekuja kusoma, so let's give him this chance. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, my name's Fred Ogola. Simon talked about something. Simon, I knew from from Kenyari. Okay, what I wanted to reiterate is about nominees. That is the biggest problem that we've had in this country and all over other places. Because at the time of nominating somebody, you know, brothers and sisters, you want to believe that they are too close to you. But you know, as time goes, people keep changing with time. You know that? I'm talking about the story you talked about, but I call it Simon Makonde. Somebody who lived within 1 week and died. You know, there is some money that you pay to these brothers or sisters to help your children, your nephews or your nieces. That money somebody has never touched. You'll just be killing those fellows without knowing. Because now the help that was supposed to come because of your money is now killing another person and making these ones even more poorer. I think you should have a situation where you call the nominees for interaction so that you can know, are they changing with time? Because more people, even you, sometimes you get more money and then you are amazed at it. It's my account. I think that you should do.
Thank you very much.
Let me just comment. Thank you for that. I think you are actually affirming what you are saying. So just an additional information about this nomination of beneficiaries. If, for example, you have nominated a minor, say somebody is below 18 years, that's another case, right? So how are you going to go about it if your children are below 18 years, all of them? So what happens is the trustees require you to nominate a guardian, number one. If you have among the list of beneficiaries there is a minor, then you automatically have to put a guardian. And this guardian must not be, say, a relative or your spouse. You are the one who chooses that either, from your own assessment, you know, if I leave my kid with this person, they are going to take care of them. I've seen people nominate their parents and all that, okay? So what happens, that money does not belong to that guardian again. It belongs to the child. So the work of the guardian in that regard is just to oversee. And within our fund, we can retain that money and invest it. Wait until the child hits 21 years, and we assume 21 years because some of them will have completed the tertiary education. Sawa sawa. Akimaliza, then we sit with them. We advise them on what they can do. We listen to them. If they have no plan again, we can still continue investing that money until they are able to make right decisions. Sawa sawa. But before we give these people money, we sit with them and advise them. Give them other opportunities to invest the money as we walk with them through the journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, kuna swali lingine hapa.
Thank you. My name is Ondieki. I got a little bit excited about the 30K exempt from pay. And so my question is, now that I am retired and I've been contributing to NSSF, if I choose to make a voluntary contribution to them, can I when I make my annual returns for pay, can I reduce it? Can I reduce it? That is the bit. I got excited a bit. Then number two, I'm already senior, and I run that side hustle. Can I stop contributing NSSF and I reinvest in the business?
Thank you. Simon?
Well, I got a little bit confused because you have left employment, right?
But he has a side hustle.
But the first question, you've left employment, right? You left many years ago, and you want to continue contributing to the NSSF already. Okay, to NSSF. Okay, so what happened to NSSF? Remember, somebody talked about, I think it's Pauline who talked about the changes that were there. Before year 2023, we used to do 200 shillings. The employer would do 200 shillings. That is a total of 400 shillings. Now, from 2023, it became a pension scheme like any other, and you have started contributing 6% of our salaries, matched by the employer. Okay, but there is a schedule on how those contributions are done. Sawa sawa. However, the old NSSF was not closed, so you can still do additional contributions as an individual. Sawa sawa. However, we are here to provide you with other solutions and opportunities. Instead of taking that money to NSSF, na wasinisikie, okay? So you can bring that money to us, and then you are going to put it into our personal pension plan because they work the same. Sawa sawa. So there are so many things that you're going to look at. The services, the returns that you're going to get, and then the interaction if there is a portal and all that, right? And access to information. So if you're able to get that, then you can go open a personal pension plan with any provider. But we invite you to come to us. Sawa sawa? Yes. Yes.
He's asking if when he's doing returns, is that money deductible? That 30,000 that he was not getting exempted while he was working, if I got it right, can he now go for it?
I think I get what. So for an employed person, you get the exemption, right?
Yes.
So if you are in business, we want to assume that by the time you are remitting this money, it has already been taxed. Sawa sawa. So if you are doing business, ushalipa VAT and other taxes thereabout. So you don't need to pay any other tax. But if you are employed, you need to talk to your employer so that they can do the deduction before you pay tax. Sawa sawa. It is exempted from tax before taxation. But if you are out there alone, then you don't need to, because you are not paying tax. Yes, Pauline?
Sorry, I just wanted to add, maybe, if I got the question right, he's asking, if he now joins, because you know leaving employment doesn't mean you have retired. If he joins an individual pension plan and you're in business, can you claim the tax benefit? You'll not be able to claim it at the beginning on contributions, but when you're doing your tax returns, you can indicate it as a tax exempt contribution where you then now reduce your tax. You can do it when you're doing the annual tax returns. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get what you meant. Yeah, you got it? Yes, at the end you can be able to claim it when you're filing the returns.
Thank you very much. And naona maswali yameisha, lakini I hope you have learned something. Kama mtu amesoma kitu, tafadhali tuinue mkono. Kila mtu amesoma, si ndio? Let's clap for Maureen and Simon. Na juu tumeketi sana, si tusimame. We can actually be, let's be upstanding. Let's stretch. Sam, si tusaidie. Our MC Sam is capable of doing that. Please go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, so I want us to stretch with a bit of a song. There's a song yenye inasema mashida unapitia ni temporary. And with everything that we have learned, so now we can see that hizo mashida zinaweza kuwa temporary. And so I'm going to ask my friend at the sound booth to help me. And you guys will just follow the simple moves we are doing. We're about to wrap up today. So, yes, when you're ready, let's do this. So just go like this. Lift your hands. We're just stretching. Awesome. Now I want us to add a bounce to it like this. So we are stretching with the knees as well. Hey. Good job. Now there's a move I like so much because it's very simple. 4 moves in front, 4 moves behind, like this, and back. Very simple. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Now remember you're stretching, so also lift your knees kidogo. One more time. Good job. Now there's a move I taught you in the morning, just like this. Let's go. Good job, good job. One more time, let's go. So for the last move, mtaka tu kutoa pressure, sawa? Find some space, and then all you'll do is this. The other side, let's go. You guys are doing a good job. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. At least conversation ya pension isikuwe tu inaisha na tension, si ndio? Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Hatuwezi kubali isha na tension and kabla mketi naona kila mtu ako na simu. Everyone has a phone. I am sure most of you have a phone. There's a there's a code here, QR code. If you're able to scan, tafadhali, and give us feedback. We love feedback as Nation Media Group. Na kuna Reverend alisema nitaomba ruhusa pia Nation Media tupigiwe makofi, si ndio? Mmetupatia ruhusa? Tupigiwe basi makofi. Thank you very much.
Well, there's a way I taught guys to clap yesterday. I think we can try it, si ndio?
Yes.
So you rub your hands, and then when I say 1, you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sawa. So let's rub our hands. This one is for Nation and all the speakers that we've had today. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Thank you very much. Allow me to just, you can have your seat. Once you scan the QR code and give us feedback, we'd love to get your feedback on the whole, this initiative by Nation Media Group. That is the East African Pensions Conference and Expo 2025. If you have feedback, kindly give us. Allow me to just thank our partners, our strategic partners for this particular event. The National Treasury, the Retirement Benefits Authority. We were also supported by Association of Retirement Benefits Scheme, Association of Pension Trustees and Administrators of Kenya. Allow me to also thank Association of Kenya Insurers, one more, Equity Life Assurance Kenya Limited, Sanlam Limited, Zamara, Ken Bride, Public Service Supernation Fund, Pivot Assets, Liberty Life, CIC Group, Uniters, Pioneer Insurance, Hallmark Institute of Professionals, and finally, CPF. And of course, the organizers of this particular event, that's the Nation Media Group. Sam, situsaidie tupige makofi all those partners that I've mentioned.
Sawa. This one I think we can even get to 5. Sababu ni wengi, si ndio?
Sawa.
Let's rub our hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The sound person, if we can all be upstanding to have the last, the national anthem.
And as we are doing that, I also come with good news. Kuna chai. Turn to the person next to you, mwambie kuna chai.
Kuna chai, Sam.
Kuna chai.
Kuna chai,
yes,
Sam.
so kuna chai pale nyuma.
Oh, before I forget, kuna chai pia na hata baada ya kunywa chai, we have some goodies from AKI, that is Association of Kenya insurers. So Pauline ametusaidia hapa. Thank you so much, Pauline.
Asante
Thank you
sana,
so much,
Pauline.
Pauline has brought us some guidebook on retirement benefits sector in Kenya. So before you leave, please get a copy. They are all here, in front here. Please get your copy and get to learn more about this sector. Thank you very much. Ushasema. Thank you very much. Equity Group, Aki Group, and all other stakeholders who are present today. Twende chini kwa ground, tusikize ground na pia tuwapatie mawaidha about planning for their retirement.
And even as we are going to the ground, you guys are the ambassadors as well because you've come and listened. And if you have any more questions, the booths are still open. Please go ask as many questions as you can. We have a lot of stakeholders here so that when you go back, as we are waiting for the equities and the Akis to go there, you can also pass the information. Sawa sawa?
Thank you very much, Sam. National anthem, please. Thank you very much. You may continue to interact with your everyone else who came here, and also there are stands behind there. If you need more information about planning for your retirement, please make your way to the stands and get more information. My name is Wangeshi Morioki, and I was your moderator. Thank you so much. I also do MC and moderation job together with Sam here. If you need our services, you can always come and get more information from us. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend. We can have a bit of music just playing in the background even as we continue.
anymore.